Sins of Commission by R.D. Wingfield, with Alan Dudley as Mr. Merry. Sins of Commission.
That's the lot, Mr. Bradley.
Right. Set the alarm.
Right.
Shut the inner door. Right. All right. Main doors. Thank you, Fletcher. Right, gentlemen. Let's set the three-part combination lock and we're safe for the night. You first, Jordan.
Okay.
Hicks. Give us room, man.
What? Oh, sorry, old boy.
And now me. That's it then. Operation completed.
Fine.
Good.
I'll be up then, Mr. Bradley.
No. Would you hold on for a moment, please, Fletcher? I've got something to tell you. Bad news, I'm afraid.
Bad news?
Well, a bit of a shock, perhaps. Not the end of the world, not to a chap of your capabilities. My fellow directors and I...
Yes, our overheads are too high.
Top-heavy. You see... Oh, look. Take this envelope. We're giving you an extra month's salary in lieu of notice, and you find a check for your full redundancy settlement.
Redundancy? You're getting rid of me?
What do we want a security officer for with this new vault? The job's gone, Fletcher. It isn't necessary anymore.
I see. When do you want me to...
Well, we'd like you to leave tonight. A clean break will be best.
Tonight?
Oh, why not? Your work's up to date, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, there's your problem. Wiltshire can take over your odds and ends. You others ready?
Don't worry, Fletcher. You won't have any difficulty finding another job.
At my age? I'd like to think we were parting on good terms, Fletcher. Will you shake hands?
No, I damn well won't.
Oh, dear. Now, what do you expect, Bradley? I'd have punched you on the nose if I'd been in his place. Oh, now it's late. I've seen enough of this place for one day.
Morning, Mr. Fletcher. A letter for you.
Oh, another company declining my services, I imagine.
Which could be good news.
Not if it's addressed to me, Mrs. Mack. I've had 4 weeks of bitter experience.
I'll get you breakfast.
Post-haste employment agency. I don't remember writing to them. Still, there's been so many. Further to your recent application, we now feel we have a proposition which could interest you. Could you kindly call our Mr. Merry on the 15th at 11 o'clock? The 15th. The 15th? That's today. Mrs. Mack, I've got to go out. No time for that, I'm afraid. Now, keep your fingers crossed for me. It could be a job at last.
Oh. Post-haste employment agency. Good morning. Yes. Sorry, love, it's been filled. Might have something for you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Excuse me, but...
Yes?
Good morning. My name's Fletcher. You're Mr. Merry wrote to me.
Have you got your letter?
Yes.
Half a mile. Mr. Fletcher's here, Mr. Merry. Right. First door on the right is waiting for you.
Oh, thank you. Come in.
Mr.
Merry?
That's right.
My name's Fletcher.
Mr. Fletcher, what a pleasure. Come in, come in. Oh. Bang on the dot of 11. That's what I like to see. Please sit down. Pleasant journey?
Yes, thank you.
Splendid, splendid. You're not fixed up anywhere, are you?
No.
Thank goodness for that. Sorry the appointment was at such short notice. The damn girl couldn't find your number.
Oh, the phone's under my landlady's name, Mrs. Mack.
Ah, that explains it. And I thought it was incompetence. She'll never forgive me. You'll take copy.
That's very nice of you.
My dear chap, it's my pleasure. Ah, Jean, do you think we could have 2 copies? Oh, never mind that. Let it ring. You usually do. Well, quick as you can. Staff aren't as willing as they used to be. You know, it's damn good of you to come at such short notice.
I've been to quite a few agencies since losing my job, Mr. Merry, and my reception has varied from mild disinterest to downright hostility.
Ah, yes.
I'm rather overwhelmed by your enthusiasm.
My dear chap, you should have come to us in the first place. We flatter ourselves we can instantly recognize a man's true worth. We charge 10%, by the way. I hope that's all right.
10%?
Our fee. 10% of your earnings. It's the usual thing.
Well...
If we don't get you a job, you don't pay us anything. Keep us on our toes, you see.
Yes, well...
I'll get Jean to make out the form. Never there when you want her. Come in. I've been trying to get you on the phone.
I've been getting your coffee. I can't be in 2 places at once.
Well, that is true, of course. Stick it on the desk. Thank you. Would you make out a commission agreement form for Mr. Fletcher?
The first chance I get amongst my many other jobs.
Good girl. Your phone's ringing.
I can hear it.
Yes. A heart of gold, really, if you've got the patience to look for it. Your coffee.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, I'd say this is disgusting. We get it from one of those machines. Jean used to make it herself, but it was worse than this. Drink it while it's hot.
Oh, yes, of course.
Now, how long were you with your last firm?
19 years.
19 years. And they made you redundant, just like that. Ah, terrible. Terrible. I used to be an employee, you know. 23 years with Wiltshire and Wilkes, the timber merchant. 23 years. Never absent, never late. They made me redundant, just like you. Kicked me out at a moment's notice. I swore I'd get my own back.
Wiltshire and Wilkes, didn't they have a nasty fire, a place burnt to the ground?
Something like that, I believe. Nasty business. Now, refresh my memory, Mr. Fletcher. What did your firm deal in? Anything inflammable?
Oh, good Lord, no. Diamonds.
Diamonds.
They were wholesale diamond merchants.
You know, I find that terribly interesting. And you were their security officer?
Until they got the new vault.
Yes. What was the value of the diamonds you were responsible for?
Just before I left, we increased our insurance cover to £800,000. And on more than one occasion, our stock was in excess of that figure.
I find you a most stimulating person to talk to. Stimulating person. So, after 19 years of devoted service, you get dismissed at a moment's notice to save your firm a few pounds in overheads. Disgusting.
I suppose it is.
Well, there's no suppose about it. If that's the reward for honesty, well, it's no wonder people's thoughts turn to crime. Have your thoughts ever turned to crime, Mr. Fletcher?
I haven't really thought about it.
Oh, you should. You should. Cheers.
Cheers.
You know, if I wasn't such a coward, I'd ask Jean for another coffee. I suppose you're dying to hear about my proposition.
Yes, please. What sort of salary?
Salary? Oh, it wouldn't be a salary. You get commission only, a straight commission basis.
Oh, I don't think I'd like to...
Oh, come now. Have you no faith in your own abilities?
What sort of a job would it be?
Something rather different from what you've been doing. Almost the opposite, in fact. You don't mind what you do, I suppose?
Oh, anything. So long as it's legal.
Oh. You're making it a bit difficult for me, Mr. Fletcher.
Would it involve selling?
No. We'd be paying you for your specialized knowledge.
Knowledge of what?
Arrangements. And diamonds.
And how much could I hope to earn?
Well, we pay a commission of 15%.
15% of what?
I think you said the value of diamonds in your old firm's vaults was about £800,000.
That's right.
Well, then your commission would be 15% of 800,000, which I make £120,000. Tax-free, of course, but less my 10% agency fee.
Suggesting, Mr. Merry.
Oh, come now, Mr. Fletcher. You're an intelligent man. I don't have to spell it out, what?
I'd like it spelled out.
All right, then. But first, let me show you that you've got to live dangerously if you want anything. 2 more copies at once, please, Jean. Oh, I bet I took her by surprise. You watch her face when she comes in. It'll be as black as thunder. Now then, there's £800,000 worth of diamonds stored in your old firm's vaults, Mr. Fletcher. It's my belief that with your specialized knowledge and help, we could get them out.
You mean steal them?
Yes. I do seem to use a lot of words where one would do. Come in, Jean. Ah, what a treat to see your smiling face.
I'd like to remind you, Mr. Merry, that I'm employed here as a switchboard operator, not as a waiter.
Well, then just put the copy on my desk, Jean, and return at once to your chosen profession.
No. Hold on, miss.
Hey?
Would you mind not leaving us? I'd like a witness. Now, Mr. Merry, would you mind repeating in front of this young lady the suggestion you just put to me?
You make it sound like something improper, Mr. Fletcher. I merely told you that if you helped us to steal some diamonds, you get 15% of the take.
Did you hear that, miss?
15%? You're mad. We do all the work and he gets 15%?
Oh, but he's vital, Jean. Vital.
Oh.
The whole thing would fall through without his cooperation.
Well, 10% would have been ample.
Oh, I think we can afford to be generous. There'll be plenty to go around. Oh, I say you're not leaving us, are you, Mr. Fletcher?
I don't think there's any more to be said.
Well, you don't have to make up your mind right away, of course. But we'd appreciate a quick answer.
You might as well know I'm going to the police.
If you think that's the right and proper thing to do, by all means do it. But you'll be making a fool of yourself. And you'll be wasting the time of a body of men for whom I have a great deal of respect. Jean and I are marvelous liars, you know.
To save time, now I phone from here.
Well, I prefer it if you use the one on the switchboard. My work must go on, you see. You'll get it for him, would you, Jean, and then come back and take some letters while we wait. Oh, I say, you didn't set the machine for oxtail soup, did you? This coffee tastes even stranger than usual. And if there is any other way we can be of service, please don't hesitate to blah, 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 the usual rubbish. Now, the next one. Yeah. That sounds like the flat feet of the Lorraine. You better nip through the other door.
Right, Mr. Merry.
Just a tick. You can take the cup.
I don't know how you can drink that stuff.
Secret is not to let it touch your tongue. Off you go.
Oh, all right. The great dictator.
Dear.
In here, officer.
Well, do you mind going through reception, please? This is a Oh, good Lord, Mr. Fletcher, how are you?
This is the man, Sergeant.
All right. Leave this to me, please. Is your name Merry, sir?
That's right. Merry by name and merry by nature. But,
Graham, sir. Detective Sergeant Graham. Do you know this gentleman, Mr. Merry?
He knows me all right.
Yes, of course I know him. His name's Fletcher. He's applied to us for employment. Sorry, Mr. Fletcher. Nothing for you yet.
This gentleman has made a very serious accusation against you, sir.
Oh?
He tells us that you have invited him to join with you in a conspiracy to steal some diamonds to the value of approximately £800,000.
Oh, Mr. Fletcher.
You deny it, sir?
Well, of course I do, Inspector.
Sergeant, sir.
Oh, Sergeant, yes. I won't press charges against him. I feel sorry for him. It must be a great strain losing your job in these difficult times. If I had anything to offer, Mr. Fletcher, you get it, you know that. But taking it out on us like this one, I thought better of you, you know.
He's lying, Sergeant. He put that proposition to me barely 30 minutes ago.
Please, Mr. Fletcher, let me handle this. Mr. Merry, was this gentleman with you this morning, sir?
Oh, no. Oh, dear me, no. He was last in here. I'll ask my secretary. She'll know. I don't think that's a nice thing to say, Jean. Now, would you mind popping in for a minute? Charming girl. She'll soon sort it out.
Yeah?
Jean, come in. This is Detective Inspector Graham.
Detective Sergeant.
Sergeant, yes. Well, your promotion is not too far away. I don't know if you remember the other gentleman, Mr. Fletcher.
Yes, I remember him.
She's got a good memory for faces. Now, when was he here last, Jean?
Well, I can look it up in the book. About 4 days ago, I think.
That's right. Last Thursday, yes. He was throwing his weight about because we didn't have anything to offer him.
I was here today. You know I was.
No. Why don't you take it easy for a few days? You've obviously been under too much strain.
He's lying, Sergeant, and she's lying. If that's so, we can soon prove it, sir. Could I look at that book you mentioned, miss?
I'll go and get it.
No. I'll come out for it. I'd like to ask you a few questions on your own. Well, thank you very much, miss. You've been a great help.
Not at all. Oh.
Come on, Mr. Fletcher. Right.
Hello? Taste Employment Agency. Can I help you?
Well, Mr. Fletcher, none of this seems to bear out your story.
They're both lying.
So you keep telling me, sir. Do you wish to persist with the charge?
Oh, there doesn't seem much point, does there?
Not for me to say, sir.
Oh, yes.
You don't believe me, do you?
What was your speed?
All right. I withdraw the charge. There's no point in going on.
If that's your decision, sir.
It is.
If you should change your mind, just let me know. Well, goodbye, sir. I'd try and take it easy if I were you.
Well, thank you for trying anyway. Goodbye, Sergeant.
Clerical? Yes, I'm afraid only the filing. It's a filing class, I think. No, that's what it is.
Come in.
What are you doing now, yes?
Sergeant Graham. Where's Mr. Fletcher?
He's gone, sir. He's decided to withdraw his allegations. Lack of evidence.
Oh, good. That's being sensible. Very sensible. I thought you were going to be an inspector.
No, Sergeant. Police wouldn't send an inspector on a thing like this.
You should know, of course. Sorry if I nearly messed things up. Anyway, well done. Very well done. I'll get your money. £9.
Hold on. We said 10.
Less my agency fee. Overhead, you know. There.
Any more jobs?
Nothing on the books at the moment. But keep yourself free after next week. Mr. Fletcher's going to turn up trumps.
You think so?
I know so. And in this instance, diamonds will be trumps.
Well, I'd keep an eye on him if I were you. If he phones the police from his home, we could be in real trouble.
My dear Graham, I don't expect you to do the worrying for a mere £10. That's what my commission's for, to take that off you. It's all taken care of. Harry's keeping an eye on him, and we'll get his phone tapped. I must get phase 2 into operation, so he'll come cap in hand to us in, 7 days? Fancy a coffee?
Good morning, Mrs. Mack. Beautiful day.
Beautiful? It's pouring.
Just what we want. It'll freshen us all up.
Well, I must say, I'm glad to see you back to your old self again. You've been a changed man since you got this new job.
It'll be good to start work again. I'm looking forward to next Monday. I'll get it, Mrs. Mack.
Oh, thank you, dear.
2940. Yes, speaking. Oh, hello, Mr. Davis. What do you mean? But you promised me. You told me I had that job. I see. Yeah, I see. Beautiful day. Just look at that ruddy rain.
Morning, team.
Morning.
Oh, it's raining cats and dogs out there.
Yeah, I'm in here. Look at that ceiling. This office isn't fit to work in.
You won't have to for long, Jean. Or what if I leave my umbrella in here?
Why, what's wrong with your own office?
Can't mess it up with dripping umbrellas. Expecting a most important visitor. Has Mr. Fletcher phoned yet?
No, why? Did you expect him to?
Well, I get these odd flashes of intuition from time to time, you know. That's him now.
House Taste Employment Agency, can I help you? Oh, half a mo. Yeah, it's him. Shall I put him through to your dry office?
No, I'll take it in here. I want you to admire my technique. Hello, Mr. Fletcher. What a pleasant surprise. You've been thinking it over. Jolly good. Now, I think we should have a little chat, don't you? Can you be here by 11? Good. I look forward to it. Goodbye. For he was lost and is found again. The patted carpet, 11 o'clock, please, Jean. Coffee for 2.
Well, how'd you do it?
The poor wretch has had a terrible disappointment. He was promised a really marvellous job at Fenton starting Monday. Then they phoned him today and told him he wasn't going to get it. Shocking thing to do, really shocking. By the way, we owe Bill Davis of Fenton's £50. Send it to his home in a plain envelope, would you? Less the commission, of course.
Sometimes I don't think you're very nice, Mr. Merry.
I have the odd doubt myself now and then, but it soon passes. You better buzz around and get the others in, Jean. We start talking business today. Come in, Mr. Fletcher, come in. Wretched morning, isn't it?
What shall I do with my umbrella?
Stick it in reception. Jean won't mind.
Right.
All right. She was quite rude. I don't think she's taken to you, you know. Can we get down to business right away?
The sooner the better.
Good. Jean, send the others in, would you? And you'd better come in yourself.
All those people out there.
You'll see. Come on in, don't be shy. That's right, gentlemen. Find yourselves seats. I see you recognize one of our little party, Mr. Fletcher.
Graham. Detective Sergeant Graham.
Hello, sir.
Yes, it wasn't only Jean and I who were lying our heads off last week, Mr. Fletcher. He was a policeman, but a long ago. Perhaps I'd better explain. Help yourselves to cigarettes, everyone. Like yourself, Mr. Fletcher, everyone you see in this room has been badly treated by their past employers. You know my sad tale. We know yours. George Graham was with the Metropolitan Police for close on 17 years. He left them reluctantly because this security firm tended him away with a fantastic salary. The fantastic salary lasted 6 weeks. The firm went through a bad patch and he was made redundant. Next to him is Bert Apsley.
How do you do, Mr. Fletcher?
Bert was with the General Post Office.
That's right. Telephone engineer, 14 years.
He left them to become chief installer with a firm dealing in internal office telephones. The firm went broke. The directors skipped the country, taking their employees' wages with them.
Never even stamped our card.
Bert tapped the phone when you made your 999 call.
Yes, it was.
And then we mustn't forget Jean.
He doesn't want to hear about me.
Well, of course he does. He's very interested in you. Pleaded to be allowed to put his wet umbrella in your office. Jean was private secretary and bag importer. One-man business. She did everything for him. Typing his books, his cooking. In fact, if we're to believe her, there was only one service he didn't get from her.
Yeah.
Anyway, he worked like a horse 6-7 days a week. Then one day, she went to his office and found it locked, barred, and bolted. He went, just like that, and she never saw him again. How long did you work for him, Jean?
8 years.
With stories to tear your emotions here, Mr. Fletcher. I had to blow my nose hard when Jean told me hers. And now we come to Harry Edwards. Last, but by no means least.
How'd you do, Mr. Fletcher?
Hello. His story is slightly different. For the first 11 years of his working life, Harry was, what shall I call you, Harry?
A burglar.
Yes, that's the word I was searching for. But I didn't want to upset you.
Oh, it's all right.
He was a burglar, and a very good one. He had his bits of bad luck, of course, and after a spell in prison and a particularly helpful probation officer, he decided to go straight. Oh, you needn't blush, Harry. We've all done things we're ashamed of. Anyway, they found a sympathetic firm to take him on, and Harry became an accounts clerk.
Thousands of pounds passed through my hands in that firm, and never a penny short.
No good moaning about it now, Harry. You had your chance. Anyway, the firm changed hands. And the new boss was so horrified at having an ex-criminal on the payroll that he sacked Harry on the spot.
Wouldn't even give me a reference.
So there you are, Mr. Fletcher. 1,000 heartbreaks.
Yes.
Now, if we could get those diamonds out of your old firm's vaults, it would be a marvelous way of working out this collective grudge we hold against employers in general, and in this instance, for you in the particular. If you come in with us, we can do it. What do you say?
I'm with you. But I don't see how I can help.
Oh, you underestimate your worth, as your ex-employers did.
I had a look at the vault, Mr. Fletcher. It's a Smith Benning, isn't it?
That's right, but how did you
Your
find...
vault may be impregnable with the rest of the place, a piece of cake. I had a good look round last night at Mr. Merry's suggestion.
And, Harry?
Well, we can forget about breaking into it. It's too good.
Then, with £800,000 at stake, subtler means must prevail. How is it locked?
Triple combination locks, electronically controlled.
There's 3 separate locking systems, each controlled by its own combination, and interlocked with the others. They have to be set in a certain order. Until the first is set, you can't operate the second, and so on. None of the 3 directors trust the others an inch, so nobody knows the other's combination. And unless all 3 are there at the same time, the vault can't be opened.
Yes. Supposing the great diamond merchant up in the sky should call one of the 3 up to him, how would the other 2 manage to open up?
Well, I imagine there are copies of the combination lodged with a bank, which can only be revealed in the event of a director's death.
Do you know which bank?
No, but knowing how they trust each other, you can bet it's in 3 different banks.
Yes, and I think we're all agreed that we can't pinch the combination. Which brings me to my first thought. We'll have to get the directors to open it up for us.
Can we find where they live?
I know where they live.
Well, if we went round to their houses at night and marched them to the vault at gunpoint.
I don't like that, Bert. Too crude.
No, it wouldn't work anyway. He only wants one of them to misdial to jam the lock permanently. It's a built-in safety factor with that type of lock.
Is there a time lock?
No. They had one on the old vault, but it kept going wrong.
What alarms are there?
Only one, on the inner door.
The inner door?
An added precaution. We set it just before locking the outer door. It's connected straight through to the local police station.
How annoying. Any chance of some delightful person forgetting to set the alarm one night?
I'm afraid not. There's an audible warning device that bleeps if the outer door is locked without the alarm being set. It also bleeps away if you try to lock up with the inner door open.
But there must be some way of switching this wretched alarm off. When you opened up each morning, for example.
There's a conceal switch, but inside the main door, of course.
Of course. Do you know where it is?
Well, naturally,
You're an asset to our team, Mr. Fletcher. Gentlemen, I see a light at the end of the tunnel. I believe I know how we're going to pull off this job. But before we go any further, perhaps I'd better restate once again how the spoils are to be shared, to avoid any possible misunderstanding. You all get equal shares, 15% of the total take. As head man, I get slightly more, 25%. The reason I get more will become obvious as you gasp in wonder when I reveal the details of my ingenious plan. Oh, and before I forget it, I also get 10% of your shares. Agency fees, you've all signed the forms?
Yes, we've all signed the form.
All these wretched overheads, you see. Anyway, the plan. Now, in my old job, I was once called to the office in the dead of night by the police. I was on their records as a key holder, and there was a suspected break-in. False alarm, as it happened. You said you could get hold of a police uniform, Graham?
That's right.
And it shouldn't be too difficult to mock up your car to look like a police car. I think your 3 directors, Mr. Fletcher, are going to be knocked up by the police one night.
Oh, they wouldn't
Of
course they wouldn't.
Oh, dear. Have I overlooked something?
Yes, you have. Your idea isn't new. It's been tried before. So the police have come to special arrangements with key holders where large sums of money are involved. They do it with banks, for example.
How does this special arrangement work?
By a code word. If they want the key holder to turn out, they don't call it his home. They phone. And to show the phone call isn't fake, they use a previously agreed code word. It might be, monarch, for example. Yes. They phone the key holder, say the one word, monarch, and then hang up. Now, the key holder has got to assure himself that the call is genuine, so he phones the police back and says, I've just had a monarch call. That's right, sir, says the police. It was us who phoned. Would you go to your office right away?
How ingenious.
Yeah, and foolproof.
Oh, no. Nothing's foolproof when £800,000 is at stake. Any difficulty in tapping their phones, Bert, and pretending to be the police?
Oh, please the case.
One hurdle overcome. And what is the code word, Mr. Fletcher?
I know what it was, but it's changed every week.
That's it, then.
Patience, Harry, patience. If it's changed every week, Mr. Fletcher, someone must keep a list of the words to be used.
Of course. The police have one, and Mr. Bradley has the other. But he keeps it locked up in his desk, and only the directors are allowed to see it.
What? One of those tuppy-halfpenny little office desks? plywood bottoms to the drawers, locks you can open with a paper clip.
Well, it's the usual type of office desk here.
You tell me how to find his desk and I'll let you have a copy of the list tonight.
He's all smiles again. Now you see, Mr. Fletcher. An excellent morning's work. Now, the last item on the agenda is when do we do it? It's Friday tomorrow. As good a day as any, I think. The place will be shut for the weekend, so we'll have a bit more elbow room. So, Friday it is, eh?
Yeah. Oh, right.
Good. I don't think we'll be missing much on the telly. Now, who says a nice cup of coffee? Jean? Jean. Jean.
What's that?
Oh, what is it?
All right. It's the phone.
Oh, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You'll be calling us at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I'm going to find out, isn't it? Hello?
Raina Maiden.
Pardon?
Raina Maiden.
Rhine Maiden? Rhine Maiden? Here, give me that list.
Oh, what list?
A code word list in the top drawer there. Come on.
You mean this?
Suppose I see it from there. Give it here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Rhine Maiden. Have to get down to the office. Looks like a break-in.
But at this time of night?
Yes, at this time of night. We've got nearly £1 million worth of stuff in that vault.
Who are you phoning?
Police. Check back, see if it's genuine. My name's Hicks, Associated Diamonds. Was it you who phoned me?
It's code word Raina Maiden. A reporter breaking into your work, sir. Haven't got the full story yet, but would you get there right away? Report to Inspector Merry.
Inspector Merry. Right. I'm on my way.
He's on his way. Good. Now the next one, Mr. Jordan. It's freezing down here. Think of the money, Bert. That'll warm you.
I hope he's in.
He's in. We've been watching his house.
Raina Maiden. Raina Maiden. I'll wait for him to phone back.
I hope he hurries. We're falling behind schedule. Graham hasn't turned up yet with his police car, and Hicks will be here any minute.
Yeah. Langton Police. Yes, Mr. Jordan, we made that call. Reported breaking into your office.
Mr. Merry.
Right away, please.
Merry, speaking to Jordan. Where is he? Down the manhole, Mr. Fletcher. Tapped the lines to the local police station, and is intercepting their calls. Now, did you fix the alarm all right, Harry?
Oh, done.
Fine. How do I look? As a detective.
Oh, very plausible.
You shaved off your moustache. A little disguise. Let's hope the Lord tempers the wind to the shorn man, eh?
Police car approaching.
I know, it's all right. It's George Graham.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's a real one.
What? Into the doorway, quick. You'd better stay down there, Bert. Hope they don't notice the manhole covers up.
They're checking the building. Of course they are. They do it every night. Are you sure? Of course I'm sure. I'm a professional. Always check in advance.
It's a great pair. I'm impressed. How long do they stay?
A few minutes at the most.
Haven't got a few minutes. Hicks will be here soon. Just our lucky for reports direct to the real police. Oh, what a tangled web we weave.
Bert signalling. There's another car coming.
That'll be Hicks. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
Relax. The police are going.
Let them hurry.
There's Hicks' car turning the corner.
Let me catch my breath. I'm certainly earning my 10% tonight. I've got enough worrying for all of us. Get through to Bradley now, Bert.
Okay, I'm trying.
Quick as you can when I head off Hicks. Mr. Hicks?
Yes?
Detective Inspector Merry, sir.
Oh, yes. They're getting your name at the station. Well, what's the position? Am I the first?
Yes, sir. The other two gentlemen are on their way. The position at the moment, sir, is that we think the chap's still in there. We've got the place surrounded anyway.
I saw one of your cars turning the corner.
Yes, sir. I sent it back to the station for reinforcements. Now, as soon as they arrive and we get our villain, I'd like you and your two colleagues to come with us to check the vault.
I see.
In the meantime, it's best to keep clear of the building. Would you mind tucking your car away around the corner, sir, and switching off the lights? Oh, and do you think you could keep an eye open for Mr. Jordan? He's due any minute. I'll go and do the rounds of my chaps. Make sure they're positioned all right.
Now,
yourself, Bert. Hurry it up.
Don't panic him.
But look at the time. What's the delay? Hey, we can't get through to Bradley. Why is that, Bert?
I don't know. Wait a minute, I'm trying again. No, unobtainable. It's phoned out of order.
It's all going wrong.
Oh, come now. We've got two of them here.
But two aren't any good. It takes three to get the vault open.
No chance of getting through on the phone, Bert.
None at all.
Well, Hicks and Jordan are waiting patiently round the corner for us to rob them, so it's only polite we get cracking before they decide to go home.
Yeah, police car coming.
What? Hey, yeah. It's all right. It's our run this time.
Sorry I'm late. There's a real police car cruising around.
Yes, they're as thick as thieves tonight. I must say, I like the car. Most impressive. Now, tell me, George, what would the police do if they couldn't contact the key holder by phone?
Go and fetch him, I suppose.
Good, because that's what we're going to do. You've got that out of police uniform?
Yes, in here.
Hey, all right. Harry, put it on, will you? No conscientious objections, I hope?
Oh, no.
You're going to be our entire police force surrounding this building, so spread yourself out a bit.
Right.
We'll stop on the way around and say a few soothing words to our friends round the corner. They're probably finding it all rather boring, but then they don't know the exciting things we've got in store for them. You better stay on the line, Bert, in case Bradley's phone decides to work again.
All right.
And you, Fletcher, stay out of sight. All right. We don't want them recognizing you. Right, George. Off to Mr. Bradley. Knock again, George.
They must have heard us by now.
I used to sleep through the Blitz, you know. Bombs dropping, ACAT guns booming. A light.
Who is it?
Police, Mr. Bradley.
Just a minute.
Now, keep back in the light where I can see you.
No need to get alarmed, Mr. Bradley. Nothing to worry about. We are police. And I hope you've got a license for that gun.
Do you know what time it is?
Oh, only too well, sir. Sorry to disturb you, but there's been a break-in at your premises, and we'd like you to come down.
Keep back. Why didn't you adopt the proper procedure?
We couldn't get through, sir. Your phone seems to be out of order.
What's the code word?
Rhine Maiden.
That's good enough for me. Hang on a minute while I fling some clothes on. And you needn't worry about this. It's not a real gun.
It's all right, Mr. Bradley. We're not real policemen.
How much longer are we going to be kept waiting? About time. Bradley!
Hello, Hicks. Jordan. Quick, before that inspector gets out. Were you phoned by the police?
Why else would we be here?
You phoned them back to verify?
Of course we did.
That's all right, then. I was a bit worried.
Everything all right, gentlemen?
What the hell's been going on? It's been stuck in this side street for over an hour.
I'm sorry about that. Mr. Bradley's phone was out of order. We had to go and collect him.
Are you sure our building's surrounded by police? I've had a quick look round and haven't seen a soul.
Inspector!
Yes, Constable?
We think he's got away, sir.
What?
He must have spotted us waiting for him, sir, and got out over the back.
I should have a few words to say to the sergeant on how well he's been keeping his men hidden.
We're searching the area, sir. Oh, and there's another thing, sir. The station has been on. The alarm's ringing.
The alarm? They got into the vault and opened the inner door.
Let's not panic, gentlemen. We better all go and have a look at the vault. Let the sergeant know what we're doing, Constable.
Yes, sir.
Smart man. Credit to his chosen profession. Well, off we go then, gentlemen. Have you got the keys, Mr. Bradley?
That's the alarm, all right.
The outer door's still shut. As we left it, hasn't been opened.
But the alarm's connected to the inner door. If it was shut, it wouldn't ring.
It could be faulty.
Well, let's open up and have a look anyway.
It might be as well, gentlemen. Faulty or not, I'd like it switched off. It's ringing continuously in the station.
Come on then, Jordan. Start dialing. Hicks? Now me. Right. That's funny.
What?
Well, this alarm isn't sounding from in here.
No, it's a tape recording from out here, I'm afraid. Switch it off, would you, Graham?
What? What's on it?
Marvellous little gadgets, aren't they? Transistors, thanks to Japanese sweated labour. Sounded just like the real thing. Now, all move back, please, with your hands up. This time it is a real gun, Mr. Bradley. That's the idea. Now, better switch off your alarm. Then we'll be working when we open the inner door. Under that shelf, Mr. Graham. Got it?
Yes.
In you go, then. Be as quick as you can.
Right you are. You won't get away with this, you know.
I hope we will. We've been to so much trouble. Is that bag going to be big enough, Mr. Graham?
Just about. Yes. That's a lot.
First class. Out you come, then. And in you go, gentlemen.
What do you mean?
You're not going to shut us in there.
I'm afraid so. We want a good start.
But we'll suffocate.
Of course you won't. There's plenty of air. Come on, please. No. You'll live longer in there than out here with a bullet in you, Mr. Jordan. There. We'll give the police a ring in a couple of hours so they can let you out. You'll know the real police when you see them. They look much the same as us, only there'll be more of them. Mind the doors. Look at them and wonder, gentlemen. Aren't they beautiful? £800,000 worth of diamonds.
As the poet says, a joy forever.
Even more of a joy we can turn them into cash. Hide them away. Quick. Who is it?
It's me. Please.
Oh, let's hurry in, Harry. Well?
He's not there anymore. Packed his bags, left during the night, and his landlady doesn't know his new address.
What's this about, then?
I'm worried about Mr. Fletcher. He disappeared rather suddenly last night and hasn't bothered to turn up for the share-out this morning.
Perhaps the police have got him.
Oh, you're cheerful. He was a bundle of nerves about last night. I expect he's got cold feet, knocked it.
What do we do about his share?
We can't give it to him if he's not here. Before we start smacking our lips at the thought of bigger portions, let me just say that I always treat others as I would wish them to treat me. We'll put Fletcher's share to one side. There's over £750,000 worth of carbonized glitter there. More than enough for all. Now, it may be a bit early, but I don't think a small celebration would go amiss. There's a bottle of champagne in the fridge, Jean.
Right.
Part those glasses, will you, Harry? Who is it?
Solid Goldsworth.
It's all right. Let him in.
What about it?
I'm letting him buy a few of the stones so we can have some ready money to tide us over. Good morning, Mr. Goldberg.
Morning. Yeah. Celebration?
Champagne. Will you join us?
At 11:30 in the morning? No, thank you.
Pity. You brought plenty of cash with you, I hope.
Let us see the stuff first.
Of course.
Yeah.
Beautiful, aren't they?
Yes, they are beautiful, all right. Very beautiful. Almost indistinguishable from the real thing. What? But they are fakes, Mr. Merry. Good quality, but fakes. If I was in that sort of market, which I am not, I might offer 300 or 400 for them, perhaps a little less. I think someone has been having you on.
Say when, Fletcher?
When? When?
Well, here's to our success.
It went off perfectly, just as I said it would, Mr. Bradley.
Yes, the insurance company has accepted the claim, and they're going to pay for the cost of a new vault.
The famous theft-proof vault.
I'd have been in trouble if it had been theft-proof. Anyway, I'm keeping to my end of the bargain. Here's the key to the safe deposit box. You'll find it contains £200,000 in cash as we arranged.
Thanks very much. Well, I'll slip out the back way. If your other two directors should see us together, they might form certain conclusions.
Very wise. You know, I can't help feeling sorry for that chap, Merry. He did all the work and got nothing out of it, not even his 10% commission.
Oh, don't worry about him. He'll find something else.
He's that sort.
My dear Mr. Robson, come in. So glad you could come to see us. So, you were kicked out of the Bank of England after 16 years. Terrible. Now, I might be able to do something for you on a commission basis. Would you like a copy? Tell me roughly, how much money do they keep in the Bank of England?
In Sins of Commission by R.D. Wingfield, Alan Dudley played Mr. Merry and Peter Tottenham Mr. Fletcher. Bradley was William Fox, Harry John Hollis, Hicks David Goodison, Jean Chris Salt, George Graham William Edel, Bert Nigel Graham.
Don't worry. You'll find it. Here he is. Well?
I'm taking the tarpaulin from the boots. You better go on to the station.
He was dead, wasn't he?
Yes, Mrs. Stacey. The back of his head smashed in.
We present Murder Locked Out by R.D. Wingfield, with Hector Ross as Detective Sergeant Day.
All right, I'm coming.
Sergeant Day, I'm Detective Constable Hodges.
Yes, well, don't just stand there. Come in.
All right.
Do you mind dripping onto that mat there?
I'm sorry to drag you out of bed, sir.
It's all right. I wasn't asleep. Just lying there coughing my heart out. You're new, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Transferred from Y Division last week.
You don't have to call me Sir, Hodges. I'm only a sergeant.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Sarge, it's just that...
It's just that I look so old, I know. Yes, sir. I feel a lot older. Now, tell me, what's this all about so I can crawl back to my sick bed?
Well, you wanted down at the station, Sarge.
I'm on sick leave, so you can go back and tell Inspector Adams...
Well, Inspector Adams didn't send me, Sarge. He's not there.
Hey?
He collapsed at his desk earlier today. Appendicitis. They're operating tonight.
Appendicitis? A little tip for you, my son. Always give me good news like that first. Appendicitis? I hear that can be very painful. Who sent for me, then?
Well, Superintendent Lawrence.
Right, hold on. I'll get my trousers and my cough medicine. Do you know what it's all about?
Yes, Sarge. They found a body. A man with his head bashed in.
Money for police. Nothing yet, sir. I should have some news tomorrow. Good night, sir.
You're another lecture,
Yes. Sergeant Day. You want the infirmary, don't you? Second on the right.
I reckon I want the morgue before the night's out. The super wants me.
Yes, so I heard. He's got a body for you.
Anything's better than the one I've got. Let him know the walking wounded here, would you?
Right. Superintendent Lawrence, please. Oh, you've got the sad news about Inspector Adams.
Sad news? Don't tell me he's got better.
Sergeant Day is here, sir? Yes, sir. You want to go in, Sergeant?
Right. You wait here, Hodges.
Right, Sergeant. Why doesn't he like Inspector Adams?
Let me put it this way, Constable. Inspector Adams can't tolerate slackness, laziness, or inefficiency. And nor, for that matter, can Superintendent Lawrence.
Come in, Dave.
Thank you, sir.
Sit down. Sorry to drag you back, but we're in one hell of a state with staff. Still, you only had a cold, didn't you?
Bronchitis, sir. And I've still got it. But not as serious as appendicitis, of course. Cigarette, sir?
No. Should you be smoking with that cough?
No, sir, but then I shouldn't go out in the pouring rain either.
I don't control the weather, Dave. You retire next year, don't you?
Yes, sir.
I've been looking through your personal file. Not a particularly distinguished career, is it?
You haven't dragged me out in the rain to tell me my shortcomings, I hope, sir.
You know your shortcomings, Dave. If there was anyone else to send, I'd leave you in your sick bed, but with Adams away, I'm forced to send you. Get over to 17 Priestley Gardens. You'll find Foxtrot Tango 3 waiting for you. They've got a man's body with head injuries. They'll fill you in.
Right, sir.
Take D.C. Hodges with you. He's new, but he's keen. And try not to let him pick up all your bad habits.
Yes, sir.
You haven't got long to go, Dave. Don't mess this one up.
Take it easy, son. Slow down. I want to die of bronchitis in my bed, not in a car smash.
Sorry, Sarge. This is my first murder case.
That's better. The body's got no place to go. It'll wait for us. It may not be murder, not even to oblige you, Hodges. But it's murder sending a sick man out in weather like this. Oh, roll on retirement.
You've been in the force some time, haven't you, Sarge?
32 years.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yes, why haven't I got any higher than a sergeant?
Well, yeah.
I'm flattered you need to ask, son. People are usually surprised that I managed to make sergeant. Actually, I'm not a very good policeman. Oh, I'm a nice fellow. Everyone's pal, but not a good copper. I was good a long time ago, just like you, salivating at the thought of a nice, juicy murder case. They all thought I was going places, but I couldn't keep it up. I lacked dedication, I suppose. Everything seemed too much bother. You've got to be a swine like Inspector Adams to get on in the force. Well, that's not me. Why are you slowing down?
Oh, there, Sarge. By that supermarket. Those two men, they're acting suspiciously.
Now, don't be greedy. You've got a murder. What more do you want? Drive on.
Oh, should we take a look?
In the pouring rain? No. Give someone else a chance. Turn left here. That must be it. Over there. Yeah, that's Foxtrot Tango 3. Hold on. He's coming over to us. Hello, Joe.
Hi, Sarge. I thought you were off duty with bronchitis.
No, I'm on duty with bronchitis. Oh, this is D.C. Hodges. I don't know his first name.
John.
This is Joe Turner. We're on his patch.
Good to meet you.
Hello. Oh, we saw a couple of men acting suspiciously outside that supermarket in the high street.
Oh, nice, Sarge.
No, he's new. He's keen. They were sheltering from the rain. Now, what's the score? Where's your mate?
He's with the body, round the back there.
Oh, rather him and me in this weather. Well, what have we got?
Dead man is James Edward Lakin, aged about 36, 37.
You taking this down, Hodges?
Yes, sir.
Good. Go on, Joe.
Well, he's a research chemist. He works at the Agricultural Research Centre over Timberley.
Research Centre?
Yeah.
Where that girl was murdered last month?
Yeah, that's the place. A woman called...
Hold on. Where does he live?
Here. 17, Priestley Gardens.
What do you mean, he lives in that house?
Yes, Sarge. The body was found around the back.
Why are we all sitting out here in the cold? Why aren't we in the house where it's dry and where there's more than light to the makings of a cup of tea?
Yeah, well, we can't get into the house, Sarge. There's no one in. He lived alone.
Well, didn't he have a key on him?
Yeah, plenty of keys, but none that fitted the front door.
Who found the body?
I was telling you. Mrs. Stacy. She lives around the corner, took a shortcut round the back of the house because it was raining, nearly fell over.
What time would that be?
Just after 10:30. We got a call at 10:37. I said you'd be along to question her.
Good. I reckon we ought to get a cup of tea out of her. But I suppose we better take a look at the body first, just to show willing. You'd better hang on here, Joe. The doctor been yet?
No, he's on his way.
Yes, they don't hide themselves when it's raining, do they? Come on, Hodges. Let's give my cold the shock of its life.
Right, Sarge.
There he is.
Hello, George. Who's that?
Oh, it's you, Sergeant Day.
Of course it's me. You didn't think they'd send anyone important when it's raining, did you? Oh, this is Detective Constable Johnny Hodges. Hodges, Georgie Grover.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Are you hiding something from me, Grover? What have you got concealed under that tarpaulin?
The body, Sarge.
Well, as we're here, we might as well take a look. Well, there you are, Hodges. You couldn't wait to get here. Was it worth it? Open window up there, George.
We had noticed it, Sarge.
I'll go through his pockets, Hodges. See if we can find his door key.
Okay, sir. It's not there, I've looked.
But Hodges is newer and keener than you are. Go on, son, he won't bite you. Did you shift the dustbin, George?
No, there when we arrived.
Someone shifted it. It's been dragged from over there. Look, you can see the marks. Well, I've solved this case, I think. Any luck, son?
No.
Oh, here's the stuff we found on the body, Sarge. A key ring. None of them fit the front door.
Take charge of it, Hodges, would you?
Right, Sarge.
By the way, sorry to disappoint you, but it's not murder.
No?
No. Here's the doc. Over here, Doctor.
What a shocking night.
They reckon we'll have rain before morning. Oh, here's your patient.
Can I have some light?
Your torch, Hodges.
Oh, yeah, right.
Well, Doc?
Well, he's dead.
I should hope so. The time you took getting here. How long's he been dead?
Well, it's difficult to be precise.
Well, within 5 or 6 seconds, say.
Oh, about 2 hours. Perhaps a little more.
That means he died about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
If you say so, son, your maths are probably better than mine. Cause of death, Doc?
Well, look at his head. Fractured skull.
See that open window up there?
Yeah.
Supposing he was trying to get in and fell. Would that do it?
A burglar?
No. He lives here. My guess is he forgot his front door key and tried to get in through the window. He drags the dustbin over and climbs onto it to reach the wall. Then he shins up the drain pipe, misses his footing, and comes down a damn sight quicker than he went up.
He cracked it on the concrete.
Yeah.
Yes, it could well have happened that way, Sergeant. Are the forensic boys coming to do their stuff?
Accidental death. Hardly worth coming out in the rain for. Pity it couldn't have been a murder. But just to oblige young Hodges here.
They shouldn't have sent you out with a cold like that.
It was the only one they had.
You should be in bed. Yeah, so should I. Oh, if you get in touch with the coroner first thing, I'll let you have a full report after the PM. Good night.
Good night, Doc. And thanks. Oh, cover him up, George. No point in him getting as wet as us.
What about the woman who found the body, Sarge? You going to question her?
No, I don't think so. I'm wet and cold, and I've got a feeling her tea's going to be rotten. I'm off home. Get a statement from her, would you, George?
Okay, Sarge.
And while you're about it, find out from the neighbours if he's ever forgotten his key and climbed in the window before. Oh, and someone had better break the news to his relatives. You've got a sympathetic face, George.
All right, Sarge. I'll tie up all the loose ends.
Here's the meat wagon to take him to the morgue. If I hang about any longer, I'll have an extra passenger. Come on, Hodges, take me home. We'll do the paperwork tomorrow.
Morning, Gay.
Oh, morning, sir.
Well, what happened last night?
Apart from me getting wet, you mean? It's all wrapped up, sir. Accidental death. He forgot his key, tried to climb in the back window, slipped and fell, smashing his head on the concrete.
First class. You done your report?
Just about to do it, sir.
Make certain there are no loose ends. There's a good chap. I'd like the report as soon as possible.
I'll do it right away, sir.
You start spreading your cold germs about, and I'll be none too pleased. We've enough men off sick as it is. Oh, good morning, Hodges.
Good morning, sir.
Hodges, you're just in time to type my report. I'll put the paper in the machine for you. I'm just going to see if there's any suspicious characters lurking about in the canteen.
I thought you'd like to see this, Sarge.
What's that?
The post-mortem report.
Oh, yes, he phoned me about it. Stick it in the file, will you?
Well, don't you want to read it?
Not before breakfast, thanks. What else have you got?
The inventory of what he was wearing. The holding is closed at the morgue.
Let's have a look. I heard from Foxtrot Tango 3. Lakin had been known to climb in that window when he forgot his key, so that ties everything up. You watched the master at work last night, my lad. Hello? That must be a mistake.
Oh, what's that, Sarge?
They've only put one shoe down. Can't the fools count?
I checked with the morgue attendant, Sarge. He says there was only one shoe on the body when they brought it in.
He must have fallen off in the ambulance.
The ambulance med said there was only one shoe, the left one on the body when they picked it up.
If they were so observant, why didn't they point it out at the time?
Well, they thought we must have already noticed it.
Don't they think we've got better things to do than count how many shoes a corpse is wearing? Come to think of it, his right leg was doubled up under him.
Sarge? Did you know the supermarket was robbed last night?
I've got enough on my own plate to worry about, Hodges. What a damn nuisance. It must have dropped off when he fell from the window. Still, good job I spotted it in time. The super would have wiped the floor with me. A quick cup of tea in the canteen, and then we'd better get back and find it.
There's no shoe here, Sarge.
Give us a hand to shut the garage door.
Right.
Right. Now, well, looked in there and in his car. It's not there either. The super's going to go to town on this one. He does like his corpses properly shot.
I suppose he couldn't have jumped, Sarge.
What do you mean?
Suicide. I mean, instead of climbing in, he might have jumped down.
You wouldn't commit suicide from a first-floor window. It's not high enough.
Still, it's a possibility, and we ought to look into it. I reckon he jumped, and we'll find his shoe up in that room.
I am but clay in your hands, Hodges. We'll take a look.
Well, how do we get in? Shall I climb up to the window?
No. History might repeat itself. I'll try one of my special keys. No good. We'll try to get the other bunch from the station. What are you doing?
Looking under the doormat. People sometimes stick a spare key there.
Oh, use your loaf, son. If you had a spare key, you wouldn't have had to climb in through.
Shall I try it in the lock, Sarge?
If you had any respect for my feelings, you'd throw it away. Yes, try it. I wish I was in a nice, clean hospital ward having my appendix out. After you, Constable. Let's see if we can find the shoe.
No, it's not here, Sarge.
A shoe, my kingdom for a shoe. I don't like his wallpaper.
Anyway, he couldn't have jumped. The windows were open wide enough.
If you'd found the shoe, my son, I'd have opened it up a bit more for you. You can speed up some of these cases if you help the clues along. Care to join me in a cough?
What? Oh, no, thanks.
One key too many, one shoe too few. Oh, that is horrible wallpaper.
Well, if it's not an accident, it's not suicide. That girl. You said a girl was murdered at the research centre where Lakin worked.
That's right, about a month ago. They found her body in the grounds, stuck in some bushes. Some maniac had smashed the back of her head in.
What was her job at the centre?
Laboratory assistant.
And Lakin was a chemist.
Come off it, son. How can you possibly tie these two cases together?
Lakin had the back of his head smashed in as well.
Because he fell from a window.
Wearing only one shoe.
So what do you think we ought to do?
Well, it wouldn't hurt to pop into the research centre and ask a few questions.
Would Dr. Kendrick report to Central Lab, please? Dr. Kendrick.
How much longer have we got to wait here, miss?
Mr. Smith will see you as soon as he's ready.
And who is this Mr. Smith?
The research director. He's in charge.
We don't particularly want to see him, miss. We just want to wander around and ask a few questions.
It's not a question of what you want, Sergeant. It's a question of what Mr. Smith allows you to do.
I think she fancies me.
Security's strict here, isn't it, Sarge? Guards at the gate, high electric fences.
Well, even agriculture has its secrets. There's money in manure, as the farmer said when his horse swallowed his wallet. Do you think Mr. Smith will allow me to smoke?
Yes, sir? Right away, Director. Sergeant Day?
Yes?
The research director will see you now. This way, please. Detective Sergeant Day and Detective Constable Hodges to see you, Director.
Have them sit down.
Would you sit down?
Thank you.
Shall I bring in coffee, Director?
Bring it in after they've gone.
Yes, sir.
And clear my out tray, would you?
Yeah. Oh.
On top of the filing cabinet, behind the door.
Ah. Yes.
Sorry to call on you unexpectedly, Mr. Smith.
I'm not ready yet.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Mr. Jordan? Oh, yes, Director. I'm looking at your test results. Table 3, page 9.
Yes, Director?
Well, haven't you been a little careless with your decimal points?
I'm sorry, sir. The typist...
You're supposed to check the typist's work. Please do so.
Yes, sir. Right away.
Why only a sergeant?
I beg your pardon, sir?
I usually deal with Inspector Adams.
Oh, he's off sick, sir. Appendicitis.
I see. All right, then, Sergeant. What do you want?
It's about one of your employees, sir, Mr. James Edward Lakin. Do you know him?
Of course. He works under Dr. Kendrick in our Advanced Research Department. Now, just a moment. I'll get his personal file there. Oh, yes, where? Ah, yes, of course. Do you mind moving your chair so I can get to my filing cabinet, Constable?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Thank you. Now, what do you want to know, and why?
He's dead, sir.
Dead?
He was found late last night, lying under the back window of his flat. His skull was fractured.
An accident?
That's one of our lines of investigation, sir.
Most obvious one, I should have thought. Times he forgot his key and had to climb in.
I was wondering, sir.
Now, please be quiet, I'm thinking. Miss Page, Lakin won't be coming in anymore. We'll do the paperwork later, but in the meantime, get on to H-Lab and tell Davidson to report immediately to Dr. Kendrick and take over Lakin's work. This is a tragedy. We're behind with our schedule as it is.
You don't seem concerned at the death of this man, sir.
I resent the influence, Constable. I'm very much concerned. Let my secretary know when the funeral will be, and we'll be suitably represented. We have a budget for this sort of thing.
The same budget you used when that girl was murdered, sir.
Mary Kent? What possible connection could there be between the two deaths?
Well, we were hoping you could tell us, sir.
Who's conducting this interview, Sergeant? You or your constable?
Oh, I am, sir. What work was Mary Kent doing?
It's all in your files.
It's unfortunate I haven't got them with me, sir.
She was a grade A laboratory assistant.
Yes, sir. What I actually meant was what precise work was she engaged upon?
I can't tell you.
But you must know, sir.
Of course I know, but I don't intend to tell you. Even sergeants, I'm sure, have heard of the Official Secrets Act.
Yes, sir. We often heard our superiors talk about it.
What's the Official Secrets Act got to do with an agricultural research centre, Mr. Smith?
You do have a lot to say for yourself, don't you, Constable? Now, what on earth is...
I'm sorry, Mr. Smith, but it is important.
I tried to stop him,
It's all right, Miss Page. Thank you. Well, Dr. Kendrick?
She told me you were engaged, but this is most urgent. Excuse me, gentlemen. Lakin hasn't turned up this morning. How can I keep the experiments going without Lakin?
It's all been taken care of. I've transferred Davidson to you. He should be there now, waiting for you.
I don't want Davidson. I want Lakin.
I'm afraid that's not possible. There's been an accident.
Accident?
He's dead.
Dead? Lakin dead? Oh, no. I could see it happening. Ever since he bought that yellow sports car, he's been going too fast, much too fast.
It wasn't a car accident, Dr. Kendrick.
Who are you?
They're detectives. They're just going.
We think he was murdered.
Like that poor girl. Someone doesn't want me to finish my experiments, Mr. Smith.
Nonsense.
Mary Kent worked for you, Doctor.
She was my laboratory assistant. It's not nonsense, Mr. Smith. There was someone watching my flat last night.
Where is your flat, sir?
The doctor lives over the laboratory. The man watching your flat, Doctor, was Henderson, one of our security guards.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sorry.
What time did Mr. Lakin leave yesterday, Doctor?
Just after 9 o'clock in the evening.
9 o'clock? That was late, wasn't it?
We all work late. There's so much to do. Even Mr. Smith works late. You left with Lakin, didn't you?
Me?
Yes, I saw you getting into his car.
Oh, yes, that's right, sir. He gave me a lift.
Where to, sir?
Well, as far as the town. He dropped me off at the traffic lights.
About what time?
9:15 or thereabouts. Don't you think you ought to be getting back, Doctor? Davidson will be waiting.
Oh, yes, of course. Goodbye, gentlemen.
I wish, Sergeant, you hadn't let your subordinate air his wild theories about murder to Dr. Kendrick. He's a brilliant man, but highly strung. His work demands the utmost concentration, and nothing must spoil it.
It isn't a wild theory, sir.
Oh? Why do you think he was murdered?
His right shoe was missing, sir. He wouldn't have walked from his car to the back in the pouring rain and then climbed a wall wearing only one shoe.
Well, not such a brilliant policeman as you are, Sergeant, but why couldn't the shoe have fallen off when he hit the ground?
Because if it did, sir, it'd still be there. We hunted high and low, and it isn't.
Do any of the neighbours keep dogs?
Dogs? I imagine so, sir.
Why? I had a dog once. It was always bringing back treasures it found when it went out prowling at night. Bones, old toys, old shoes. Why couldn't a dog have taken the shoe?
To be quite honest, sir, I never thought of that.
To be quite honest with you, Sergeant, I'm not at all surprised. If you could go now, I'd like to have my coffee.
So, it's accidental death again, is it, Sarge?
It's always been accidental death, Hodges, my son. You're the one who's been coming up with these wild murder and suicide theories. I've let you have your head because you're young and rash, but I've never wavered.
A dog took the shoe?
Yeah, or a tramp. Could have been anyone. After all, the shoe would have been lying there all night. We didn't go back until the morning.
But if it had been there last night, we'd have seen it. Anyway, why should he climb in the back window when the key was under the mat?
He forgot. All brilliant men forget. I'm always doing it. An accident, pure and simple. Who wants Inspector Adams when they've got brilliant men like me?
Hey, Sarge.
Now what?
Do you remember what Dr. Kendrick said about Lakin always driving too fast in his yellow sports car?
Yes.
Oh, you searched his garage. What was in there?
A Mini, a blue Mini. There was no yellow sports car.
No. But there was one parked in the side road. Oh, a lovely little job. I thought it belonged to one of the neighbours. It must have been his.
You see, there's an explanation for everything.
Let's take a look at it, Sarge. Just in case. This is the one, Sarge.
Well, it's yellow. I grant you that. And it's locked.
Well, try the keys from Lakin's pocket.
I was going to. Give me some credit. Right first time. He's got a 4-track stereo.
Yeah. I'm more interested in that. On the floor by the front passenger seat.
Damn.
The missing shoe.
I could have done without that. I think I'll go on sick leave.
If he'd walked from here across the road and round to the back with one shoe on, in all that rain, his sock would have been soaked and muddy. And it wasn't.
So he was carried over?
Yes, Sarge, he was carried over. He was carried over because he was dead when he was brought here.
We'll have to alter a hell of a lot of forms, you know. Ah, well, we'll have something to eat and then we'll go and break the news to the superintendent. He won't be too pleased. He was happy with it as an accident.
What did you say, Dave?
I think it's murder, sir.
Oh, for goodness sake. I knew it was a mistake to put you on this case. You're trying to impress young Hodges, I suppose, trying to build it up into something big.
No, sir. I think there's a tie-up between Lakin's death and the murder of that girl at the research centre.
Yes, that reminds me. You went to the Agricultural Research Centre today, didn't you?
No harm in that, is there, sir?
That chap Smith, the research director, it seems he's got friends in very high places. The chief constable's just phoned.
Oh?
He's had someone big from Whitehall on the phone to him. One of Smith's friends. A little bit of pressure has been applied.
So the chief constable wants us to drop the case?
Good heavens, no, of course not. He said that if we had a cast-iron case, a really solid, waterproof cast-iron case, then naturally we must proceed and we'd have his full backing. But, as you've probably guessed, the place is not an agricultural research centre. They're actually engaged in top-secret experimental work for the Ministry of Defence. Work of the utmost importance.
I see. That explains why they kept firing the Official Secrets Act at me.
Precisely. The Ministry are most anxious that nothing happens to interfere with this research programme. And the Chief Constable has pledged his full support. So, let's look at this objectively. What exactly have we got?
2 murders, a man and a woman, both with their heads bashed in.
Hold hard. You're jumping to conclusions. Now, the girl was murdered, there's no doubt about that. In all probability, a motiveless sexual attack. Now, apart from the coincidence that they both happen to work in the same place, hardly surprising since they're both chemists, what is suspicious about the death of this man? Your original theory was brilliant, and fully supported by the police surgeon. So why didn't he die from a fall?
The missing shoe, sir.
Which turned up in his car. Good work in finding it, by the way. One of the neighbours must have found the shoe on the ground, realised it belonged to Lakin, and stuck it in his car for safety.
The car was locked, sir.
There are ways of opening car doors. Excuse me. Lawrence? Oh, hello, sir. Yes? I'm talking to him now. I think so. Yes, I'll phone you, sir. Goodbye.
The Chief Constable?
Yes, about some other matter. But it reminds me, Dave, you know I had your personal file out the other night. Well, there was a reason for it. I mentioned to the Chief Constable that I'd like to do something about your promotion. Be nice if you could retire as an inspector, after all your years in the force. But that's by the way, of course. You must decide yourself on the line the investigations to take. I don't want to influence you. There'd be a bit of difference in the pension, of course.
Sorry I'm late, Sarge.
That's all right, my son. You haven't been missed.
I know who killed Lakin.
So do I. I'm just putting it in my report. While you've been out gallivanting heaven knows where, I've solved the case.
You have? Who killed him?
The law of gravity. He didn't jump, he wasn't pushed, he fell. One of those unfortunate accidents with which this life of ours is fraught.
I don't get it. You know it wasn't an accident.
That was before the superintendent explained it to me.
Explain what?
That I had the choice of retiring as a sergeant or as an inspector. I just had to play my cards right. It seems that Mr. Smith has friends in high places, and they want the investigation stopped.
Why?
That place is a front for the Ministry of Defence. They're doing top-secret research work. An investigation could mess it up. Well, I couldn't let that happen, now could I?
So a double murderer is going to get away with it?
But it's not murder, it's an accident. My report says so. It's here in black and white, and I'm not typing that lot out again, even if the murderer comes in here and confesses.
Sarge, he could kill again.
If you feel so strongly about it, go and tell the superintendent.
No, he wouldn't listen to me.
Then that's the end of it. Well, all done. James Edward Lakin, deceased. Case closed. Another triumph for Sergeant Day. Grizzled veteran of 100 investigations. And 1,000 coughs. Now stop looking all sullen and hard done by, my son. You have to show me a bit of respect when I'm an inspector.
Well, I might respect the rank, but not the way you got it.
At my age, son, just getting it's enough.
Whatever promotion I get, I'll earn. I'm sorry, Sarge.
Forget it.
I know who killed Lakin.
Forget that as well. The case is closed. Who?
Smith.
You're mad.
Look, the reason I'm late is because I've been chatting to one of the security guards at the research centre. It turns out he's an ex-cop, only been there a week. The old loyalties are still strong. He saw Lakin leave in his sports car last night.
So?
Only Lakin wasn't driving. Smith was. Lakin was propped up in the passenger seat with a safety belt holding him up. Well, the guard said he looked as if he was asleep or drunk. I say he was dead.
And Smith killed him?
Yeah.
Why?
To sabotage this research project. The girl was working on it, so he killed her. Lakin was working on it, so he killed him.
Wouldn't it have been easier to have killed Dr. Kendrick? After all, he's the key man.
Dr. Kendrick has security men guarding him night and day.
So he has.
Well?
Well, what?
Well, what are you going to do?
Yes, you might be right about Smith. Any man who begrudges a couple of hard-working coppers a cup of coffee is evil. But what evidence have you got? The courts aren't on our side, you know. You've got to convince them. So Smith was driving Lakin's car. Is that a crime? And you think Lakin was dead at his side? You try and prove it.
So he's going to get away with it?
He won't be the first if he does. You haven't got enough evidence to convince me. And my standards are lower than anybody's. Now, forget all about it and get down to some real police work. Starting with sticking those back in the filing cabinet.
Okay. Sarge, we've got it.
Hey?
The filing cabinet. Look, you want evidence. I can give you cast iron evidence. Did anything strike you as odd in Smith's office this morning?
No.
The position of his filing cabinet. When he wanted Lakin's personal file, his hand stretched to the side of the desk where the filing cabinet should have been. Then he remembered and he walked across the office to it.
Yes.
You could see the square of carpet by his desk where the filing cabinet had been. He'd only just moved it. He had to point it out to his secretary when she was looking for his out tray. Well, why did he move it? And why to that particular spot?
Please, tell me.
Because there was something on the carpet he'd had to cover up. A blood stain. Blood from Lakin's head when he killed him in his office last night.
It's a good theory, son, but where's the proof?
We move the cabinet and look underneath. If there's a blood stain, we've got it.
No, he'd never let us in.
Get a search warrant.
What, on a Ministry of Defence department? And what happens if I defy the super and the chief constable and then his lousy carpet fails to oblige us with a blood stain? No, forget it.
They needn't know. Look, suppose we don't make it official. Suppose we sneak in and look round there tonight when everyone's gone home.
You're mad.
We'd be in and out in 5 minutes.
Breaking into someone's office at night? They'd bust me if they found out. I've already agreed with the super. The case is closed. So that's the end of it.
All right, Sarge. Forget it. I just thought you might like to start acting like a proper copper for a change. I won't jeopardise your precious promotion. I'll go on my own.
Not if you're ordered not to, you won't.
Oh, I see. Pulling rank on me, are you, Sarge?
Yes, I am. Now sit down. I said sit down. How would we get in there, anyway? It's guarded like the Bank of England.
Sarge?
Yes, I know. It just proves I'm as stupid as everyone makes out.
That ex-copper's on tonight. He'd let us through. I'll pick you up about 9:30.
Come on in. In we go. It's locked, Sarge. Well, he didn't know we were coming, did he? Out of the way. It's bound to be the last one. Perhaps I should have been a burglar. What's that? I can't see. I heard something.
Now, imagination.
Perhaps. All right. Come on.
Oh, you found the cabinet?
My knee has. Over here. Keep your torch down.
Yeah.
It's like a flaming searchlight.
Okay.
Right, now give us a hand to shift it. Flip it. Yeah. Right. That's it. Okay, Hodges, it's your big moment. Shine your torch and see what we've got.
Nothing.
Never mind, son. I'll be wrong myself sometimes.
And you can see why there's nothing, can't you? Look.
Keep your torch down.
Look. He's had it recarpeted.
So, yes. He doesn't waste much time, does he? I prefer the old one, I think. Not so much blue in it. Come on, let's get the cabinet back.
In a minute.
What are you doing?
Having a look through his desk.
No, we set the filing cabinet and that's all.
We won't get another chance.
Not if anyone catches us, we won't. Now, come on.
When I've finished. Hey, Sarge, look at this.
What is it?
A key. It was in his top drawer. It's Lakin's front door key.
Put it back.
Sarge.
What is accused of planting evidence and got no right to be here? Someone's coming. Shut that drawer.
Down behind the desk.
Oh, what's the use?
It's a chance. Down.
No.
It's Kendrick.
Operator? I want the police. Operator.
Why do you want the police, Dr. Kendrick?
Who are you?
We're police officers. We were here earlier today.
Oh, yes, I remember. Oh, thank goodness you're here. The phone seems to be dead.
Well, let me try, sir. Yeah, it's probably off at the switchboard.
It's my turn. Someone's trying to kill me.
Why do you say that, sir?
Someone's been following me.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Listen. It's him. Switch off the torch, Hodges. Right.
Dr. Kendrick, are you there?
It's Mr. Smith. Thank goodness.
Hodges, open the window. Get the doctor out that way. Make for the car and radio for help. I'll hold him off.
He's dangerous, Sarge. He's a killer.
I'm frightened enough, thanks. Now get Kendrick out of here. Just a minute, Doctor. Hurry up. I can't hold it much longer. We're through. Right. Let me go. Oh, no, you don't. Drop that. Drop it. Oh, my arm. Still, it won't hurt. Detective Sergeant Day? Yes, sir. I'd like you to come down to the station with me, if you wouldn't mind.
Where's Dr. Kendrick?
He's quite safe, sir.
Safe, you fool. He's
Nearly killed his guard tonight. Now, where is he?
Nearly killed his guard?
He's killed twice before. He can kill again. Where is he?
He's gone with Hodges to the car.
Oh, I hope for your sake Hodges is all right. Come on, let's find them. There's some of my guards. You men, over there. Where did you leave your car, Sergeant?
Just round the corner. There.
Oh, my God.
Sergeant, Mr. Smith, someone smashed this man's head in.
He never remembers afterwards. Oh, now, put that down, Doctor. Just put it down. Oh, that's right. All right, Peters. Take him and look after him a bit better this time.
Who would want to do a thing like that?
Come along, Doctor. You come with me.
Hodges, you all right? Let's have a look at.
Aye. He's lucky. Must have been a glancing blow. Nothing's broken.
Oh. What happened?
How do you feel?
Oh, something hit me.
Yes, it was Kendrick. Are you all right?
Yeah. Kendrick?
The most outstanding research chemist this country's ever known. He's a genius.
He's insane.
It is possible to be both. When he's lucid, he's brilliant.
And when he's insane, he kills.
Yes. We've watched him carefully since the go. Laking knew the risk. He must have been careless. Tried to make his death look like an accident. I didn't notice the shoe.
I'm going to have to arrest him, Mr. Smith.
Out of the question, I'm afraid. His work's far too important. He's so near to success.
He could kill again.
Possibly. But that's a risk I'm prepared to take.
You may be, Mr. Smith, but I most certainly am not.
You're doing what, Day? Shut the door, would you, Hodges?
Sir?
I'm charging him with murder, sir.
There's big issues involved here, Day. Surely Mr. Smith explained them to you.
Oh, he explained them, sir, but no one's above the law, no matter how important they are. At least that's what they taught me when I joined. Kendrick has killed twice, he could kill again.
But the work he's doing could save thousands of lives.
Yes, I used a similar argument when they dropped the atom bomb. I'm charging him with murder.
You haven't a shred of evidence.
No, sir. Firstly, there's the missing shoe.
What missing shoe? I've got the mortuary attendant's report here. There were 2 shoes on the body when it was brought in.
Show me. This isn't the same report. It's been altered.
That's the only report now in existence.
I see. So we've actually come down to this, have we? Destroying vital evidence.
I'm sorry, Day. I like it no more than you do. But my instructions came from the top, the very top.
All right. You needn't have bothered. I don't need the report. My case is strong enough without it. Smith has admitted that he faked the accident.
And he'll deny it. It'll be your word against his.
Oh, no, sir. Not just my word. Detective Constable Hodges was there.
Hodges? Hodges?
I don't recall Mr. Smith making any such admission, sir.
What do you mean you don't recall? It was less than an hour ago. You were there. You were standing by my side. I see. What promotion did he promise you, son?
All right, Hodges, you can go. Don't think too badly of him, Day. He took a lot of persuading. And, speaking of promotion, I've got a bit of bad news for you, I'm afraid. Will you have a cigarette?
Murder Locked Out was written for radio by R.D. Wingfield. Sergeant Day was played by Hector Ross, Constable Hodges by John Rye, Superintendent Lawrence by Dennis McCarthy, and Smith by Godfrey Kenton. Dr. Kendrick and P.C. Turner, Kerry Francis, Jordan and P.C. Grover, Peter Pacey, the desk sergeant and the doctor, Nigel Lambert, and Mrs. Stacey and the secretary, Emily Richard. The play was produced by Harry Catlin.
Midweek Theatre. Balance brought forward by R.D. Wingfield, with Aubrey Woods as Skinner and Peter Williams as Partle.
Howdy, Shelley.
I bet you are.
Actually, I'm enjoying it. Intimate contact with your warm, young, vibrant body. You coming out with me today?
I can't afford it, thanks.
I'll pay you back. It's the first payday after Christmas.
I'm afraid I'm withdrawing your credit facility. You've got a customer.
Shop. Sorry, Mr. Skinner. I was miles away. You can't afford to let your attention wander when you work in a bank. Oh, if I was less than honest, I'd have got away with all your blotting paper and unit trust secrets, wouldn't I? Now, firstly, can you cash me this modest check, please? Of course, sir. One? Yes. As many as possible. Look at them down there. Banking has lost all its grace and charm. Once it was a glass of sherry and a slice of Madeira taken the manager's office, and now it's all those hefty jets and crash helmets and functions. Security guards from Gregson's department store, Mr. Skinner, paying in the daily takings. Does it warrant so many of them? Oh, if you knew the amount of money involved, sir. Oh, Dixons always do a fair old trade, but at Christmas time it's fantastic. Oh, there we are, Mr. Skinner. 15-1. And the free elastic dam. Thank you, Tom. How much money, roughly, do they pay in each day, then? Oh, I'm not allowed to tell you that, sir. No, of course not. I should have known better than to ask a stone-faced, tight-lipped young bank executive. About 20,000? Oh, you have to check that, sir. 60,000. A day? Makes you think, doesn't it? Makes me dribble, Tom. It's over, £350,000 a week, almost as much as you spend on top records. Oh, my spending days are over until after Christmas, sir. I don't know where all the money goes. And to Gregson's department store by the look of it and then into your bank. No wonder you can afford to give away free elastic bands. No, I wonder if... Yeah, so difficult now, but there's a pleasant-looking coat trying to sneak in behind your counter. Up there. Where do you think he's going? Excuse me, sir, you can't go through there. It's all right, I'm the new branch manager. Oh, Mr. Buckle? That's right. And you'll be Tom Green? Yes, sir. We didn't expect you until after Christmas, Mr. Buckle. Things move fast all that time. Well, where will I find the acting manager? Mr. Perry, in his office, your office. First floor on the left. I'll show you. I couldn't find the thanks. You'd better get back to the customer. Yes, sir.
Who is that, Tom?
He's the heir presumptive to the managership. I'd love to see Mr. Perry's face when he learns his reign of terror is being cut short. Do you mind knocking before coming in here? Who the hell are you? Mr. Perry? Yes? I'm Fussell, the new manager. Oh, well, I can spare you 5 minutes. Sit down. Thank you. Sorry I didn't phone you first. If you didn't, I could have put you off. I have no time for casual visitors at the moment. You won't mind if I carry on studying these terms, will you? This isn't a casual visit, Mr. Perry. Oh? I've advanced my plans. Anderson got back from convalescence last Friday, earlier than we expected. Who's Anderson? My replacement of my old branch. Anyway, with him back, don't keep me there any longer. We moved into the new house yesterday, and here I am ready to take a lunch today. Oh, John. I beg your pardon. If you had had any experience of actually running a bank, you'd know that there was far too much work on hand at this time of the year for me to spare time to spoon-feed someone new and teach them the ropes. Let me remind you, Mr. Perry, that whether you like it or not, I am manager of this branch. And permit me to remind you that your appointment doesn't take effect until the 1st of January. Until then, I am acting manager in full charge and extremely... So, if you would excuse me... Aren't you being a little childish? I won't query your decisions when you're in charge. Please don't query mine now. Good day. Head office said you were difficult. Difficult? Is that what they think of me? Do you know how long I've been at this branch, Mr. Fussell? Over 30 years, isn't it? 36 years. This branch has had 36 years of my life. I started as a junior filing clerk and worked my way up, step by step, to assistant manager. And all through my own efforts. I've got no friends at head office. I can believe that. I've been assistant to 5 different managers. 5 times the job has fallen vacant, and 5 times they've appointed people with half my experience. The worst of them was this last chap. He didn't know how to run a branch, and he didn't want to know. He was so bad that even head office twigged him, and 6 months ago he was asked to resign. I really thought I'd get the job this time. For 6 months I've been working like a Trojan, showing him that I could do it. Yesterday, head office let me into their little secret. They'd already given it to you. It was all decided last June. Yes, I'm afraid it was. The move was delayed for 6 months because Anderson was taken ill. But don't despair, Mr. Ferry. I'm sure your chance will come.
Well, in case it doesn't, I'm determined to enjoy my brief spell as acting manager to the full, i.e. until the 31st of December.
Very well, Mr. Ferry. Since you feel so strongly about it.
I'll see you again at the first 9 o'clock then. Goodbye.
Yes? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Ferry.
That's all right. Mr. Fupple's just leaving.
Mr. Skinner of Skinner Development would like to see the manager.
Someone else who wants to barge in without an appointment. All right, I'll see him. Might as well ruin the rest of the morning.
He said he wanted the proper manager, sir, Mr. Fustle.
Do you know him?
Skinner? I don't think so.
We come from your part of the country. Moved down here 6 months ago. Runs a one-man business speculating in old properties. A bit shady, if you ask me. Show him in, Green.
All right, sir. This way, Mr. Skinner.
You'll want to see me, but you can hang on if you like.
Thank you.
Mr. Fustle, how kind of you to see me at such short notice.
How do you do, Mr. Skinner? How do you feel, sit down?
Thank you very much.
You know Mr. Ferry, of course.
Oh, of course, the acting manager. Must be such a relief for you to have a proper manager in charge again.
I didn't know we lacked a proper manager. How can we help you, Mr. Skinner?
It's rather confidential.
Yes?
So if you wouldn't mind leaving us.
Leaving? Me? I see. Very well. Please treat my office as if it were your own, Mr. Fustle.
Stuff are awfully touchy these days, aren't they?
Well, it is a very hectic time of year.
Good Lord. We have met before, Mr. Fustle.
Have we? Am I old one?
No, years ago. We were both wearing the King's uniform at the time.
Oh.
You were in the commandos, weren't you?
That's right.
And I was in the RAF. East Anglia? Rookley Airfield?
Rookley?
Yes.
Yes. I remember it vaguely. We took off from there for France once, 1944, I think.
August 1944.
You must have a remarkable memory, Mr. Skinner.
Well, you need it in my business. Now, why do I remember August 1944 so well? Of course, the murder.
What murder?
Our fleeting is fame. You must remember the famous Rookley murder. It was a sensation at the time. It knocked sex and dried eggs into second place as a topic of conversation in the camp.
Oh, yes, I think I remember reading something about it in the papers. Now, how can the bank help you, Mr. Skinner?
You read about it. But didn't the police question you at the time?
Question me? No, why should they?
They questioned everyone who was in the camp that day.
But I wasn't in the camp that day. We'd flown to France the week before.
Do you know, I could have sworn I saw you there on the day of the murder. You had the old green beret on.
You're mistaken.
Just shows how witnesses can be mistaken, doesn't it? I could have sworn
that I could get down to business.
Yes, of course. Things are a bit tough in the property world at the moment, Mr. Fustle. I find I need rather a large sum of money.
I see. Have you filled in one of our loan application forms?
No.
Well, that's the first step. I wonder where Mr. Ferry keeps you.
It's funny the way association of ideas works. The minute I saw you, I immediately thought of murder.
Why?
Well, the victim, the chappie who was killed, you know, his father. Now, he's something big in this band, isn't he?
Yes, Vernon Woodhead. He's on our board of directors.
That was the name, of course, Woodhead. Pilot, office, wait, don't tell me. Rupert Woodhead. What a way to finish up. Stabbed to death in a country lane. See him in this out?
Yes.
I bet his father took it rather badly. In place, they said he was blind drunk when he was stabbed. Couldn't have defended himself. What sort of man would do a thing like that?
If you could just fill in this form.
No, thank you. No, they never caught the killer.
Well, they're not likely to after 30 years, are they?
Well, the police never close their files. Sound like owing the bank money. They never leave you alone. Wouldn't it be rotten luck to think you've got away with it for 30 years and then suddenly... See, what a very complicated form. There must be easier ways of getting money out of the bank.
Not honestly.
And where is the form for the other way?
Oh, I thought you would have finished by now.
Just going, Mr. Berry.
Teddy.
Oh, yes. Well, I'll be back when I've filled in your form, Mr. Fustle. Good day.
Goodbye, Mr. Skinner.
Bye.
What does he want?
A bank loan.
I don't trust him. He won't get one while I'm in charge. What you do when you take over is your sole cost. Well, I can keep you.
Yes, January the 1st.
9 o'clock. Well, my regards to your wife. Have a pleasant Christmas.
Why, thank you. You must come over and see us.
Come in and take some letters, will you, Shirley?
Right away, Mr. Perry.
Was there anything else?
No, nothing else, thank you. Mary, I'm home.
I'm in the living room.
Oh, you look busy.
Peter, you're home early. I wanted to be all ready for you.
I'll help you.
Oh, you're an angel. There's going to be empty teacher tomorrow. The removal men broke that awful teapot around gave us. Isn't that wonderful?
Where shall I put this straight?
Anywhere. Well, that cupboard for now.
All right.
The old big Jane, I forgot to ask you, how did you get on with the bank? Did you dispossess any old widow lady? Foreclose any mortgages?
I didn't start today.
Why not?
Harry is determined to remain acting manager for his full term. I'm not allowed in until January the 1st.
Oh, God. You must go back tomorrow.
No.
Yes. But don't you see what he's doing? He's making you look a fool. You're the manager. It's your branch. And you tell him what to do.
Why are you getting so worked up?
I want to make a success of this job.
Have we had any callers today?
The man from the electricity board.
No. Good.
He said our wiring is rotten and should have been condemned years ago. But if we like, he can fix it for us in his spare time for only £50. And the electricity board would charge us hundreds and not be nearly such a good job as this. Peter, you're not listening.
Sorry. Something else happened today.
At the bank?
Yeah. A chap named Skinner called. Said he remembered me from the war. From Lockley. He kept going on about the murder.
Oh, Peter.
Said he saw me there that day.
But you told me no one saw you.
Perhaps I was wrong.
What else did he say?
Nothing much, just talked in general terms, but he went on and on about Woodhead.
Well, if he was there at the time, naturally he'd want to talk about it.
I suppose so.
Oh, your trouble is you haven't got enough to think about. Now, what about my little man from the electricity board? I'm sure he'd make a good job of the wiring. He's got a lovely bald head.
He's got a lovely bald head. What further persuasive argument is necessary? Oh, Mary, what would I do without you? Expecting anyone?
Oh, it could be the electrician's brother-in-law.
His brother-in-law?
He made his television set. Cheaper than at the shop.
There's nothing wrong with our television?
Well, I had a little accident.
Accident? Oh, well. It's very old.
It's not the man who ran the TV, Peter. It's someone for you.
Good evening, Mr. Castle.
Skinner?
I come in peace, bearing gifts. Would you accept this little housewarming present?
What can I say? Why, thank you.
And some beautiful flowers for a lovely lady.
Red roses, they're my favourite.
We share the same impeccable taste.
I'm sorry, Mary.
Oh, it's all right. We introduced ourselves, sir. Please sit down, Mr. Skinner.
Oh, thank you.
You'll help us drink this, I hope?
You're too kind. I hope you don't mind my barging in like this, but I was in the vicinity, and I say, isn't this a charming house? Bit off the beaten track, sir.
We don't mind. How did you come? By car?
You should see it, Peter. A yellow sports model. Will you interview, Mr. Skinner?
No, it's
Weeks old. Are you interested in cars, Mr. Fox?
Oh, he's car mad. Always taking our engine to pieces.
That, of course, is the easy part. Can he put it together again?
Oh, yes, he's a mechanical genius.
I've never paid a garage repair bill in my life.
No?
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Well, I wish I had your skill, Mr. Fussell. Now, what shall we drink to? I know. To old comrades alive and dead.
That's rather morbid.
Well, then I'm instantly ready with another. May our sins never be found out. So drink up, Mr. Fussell. Why do they make sherry glasses so small?
Would you like some more?
Well, as it is a special occasion. Garden's going to take some looking after, isn't it? Are you a keen gardener?
Very keen.
Yes, I thought so. You've got the killer instinct.
Well, what on earth do you mean by that?
Oh, there's slugs and carrot flies you gardeners have to slaughter. Now, I couldn't kill anything. You killed during the war, didn't you?
Yes.
I didn't. How old was Rupert Woodhead when he died?
What exactly have you come here for, Mr. Skinner?
There's no concealing anything from you, is there, Mrs. Fussell? As a matter of fact, there is a rather urgent little financial matter I'd like to discuss with your husband.
I prefer to keep it separate from my private life. Can we save it for the bank?
I'm afraid urgency does not allow that. I hate to show discourtesy to your charming wife, Mr. Fussell, but it would be less embarrassing if we could talk alone.
Embarrassing for whom?
For you. I'm ashamed to say that nothing embarrasses me.
I keep no secrets from my wife, Mr. Skinner.
Not even 30-year-old secret?
No.
Does she know you murdered Rupert Woodhead?
Oh, yes, she does, Mr. Skinner.
But how wonderful. Isn't that really what marriage is all about? I'm sure that if your lovely wife standing by you will soon get this annoying little matter sorted out to everyone's satisfaction. Isn't it peaceful and calm around here? Silence is such a wonderful thing. It's amazing how much people are willing to pay for silence.
So it's Blackstone.
Of course. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Not the noblest of professions, perhaps, but better by far than mugging old ladies or stabbing drunken men. You know this wine gets better the more you have of it.
Are you going to get to the point?
Of course. Now, your hobby is cars, and mine is photography. And what a rewarding hobby it turned out to be. Now, if on that lovely August evening in 1944 you had let your attention wander from the task of stabbing poor Private Officer Woodhead to death, you might have noticed a glimpse of the setting sun on the telephoto lens of my little Leica camera. I took some lovely photographs.
Where were you?
Up on the hill. It was by pure chance that I saw you. The definition of that lens, it was... you can almost read the maker's name on the blade of the knife.
Where are these photographs?
In a very safe place.
I want them.
How fortuitous, because I want to sell them.
I'm not a rich man.
That depends on your standards, doesn't it? Paul Getty probably doesn't think an artist is very rich. Now, let me see. In your deposit account, there's about 4,260, and you've got exactly £562.63 in your current account.
How on earth did you know that?
Do counterers explain how their tricks work? Do bank managers explain how they calculate bank charges? Of course not. We all have our trade secrets.
How much?
Well, I don't want to belittle your achievement in saving all that money, but your few £1,000 is nowhere near enough. The least I could accept for my excellent photograph is £60,000.
£60,000?
I'd throw in the album free of charge.
You must be mad. I haven't got that sort of money.
No, you haven't. But your bank has.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
They're vast reserves. It'll be a flea bag.
You're asking me to rob my own bank?
Of course not. That will get you into trouble, and that's the last thing I wish to do. All I'm asking you to do is to help me rob your bank.
And if I refuse?
I'll write the photographs and the negatives up in Christmassy paper and send them to the police with a covering note.
If you saw me kill him, Why didn't you go to the police at the time?
In 1944, they'd have hanged you. I'm a humane man. I couldn't have had that on my conscience. Besides, what would there have been in it for me? Commandos weren't paid very much.
All right, Skinner. This has gone far enough. I want the film and the photograph.
No, not the gun, Floyd. Please put it away.
I'm not bluffing. You're not ruining my life, Skinner. I'd rather kill you.
You'd rather. But you would. Oh, be sensible. What would you do with my body?
You said yourself this is a remote house with a large garden. No windows are here. Now, I want those photographs.
I haven't got them on me.
Then we'll go and get them.
No.
Switch the radio on, Mary. Louder. That should drown the sound of the shot.
Oh, do put that stupid gun away. You know it isn't loaded.
You've got exactly 5 seconds to tell me where the photographs are. Don't look, Mary. 5 seconds, Skinner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Can we have that horrible music off now?
Turn it off, Mary.
Now, don't think badly of yourself, Mr. Fussell. You did it very well, but you'd never leave a loaded gun lying loose in a drawer like that. If it were a knife, and if I were a little dunker, I'd have been one. But as it is, it's quite a Luger, isn't it?
A souvenir of the war.
Like my photograph. And, by the way, in case you feel tempted again, my solicitor has a letter to be opened in the sad event of my untimely death. Standard procedure in these cases.
Well, tell me why you killed that man, Peter.
You killed him, Mr. Fussell. That is good enough for me. My curiosity extends no further.
Tell him, Peter.
They flew us from Rotley Airfield to do this job in France. It involved being dropped by parachute behind enemy lines and taking and holding a vital bridge until the Allied advance troops arrived. We held the bridge, our troops arrived, and we were back in England within a week. Our only casualties were 16 men, killed by Pilot Officer Woodhead.
Go on.
There was a German Panzer division about half a mile away from the dropping zone, so accuracy was essential. The planes had to come in at a minimum dropping height, and as soon as we were over the target, the pilot would flash the signal to jump. Of course, the Joeys wanged up flat like mad, but the pilots couldn't maneuver. They had to grit their teeth and fly straight through it, keeping to the fixed dropping height. Pilot Officer Woodhead didn't like flat, so he flew under it, which was safe for him and his plane, but not safe for the poor devils who had to jump.
What happened?
If you haven't got enough height, you hit the ground before your parachute opens. All 16 men were smashed to pieces, but Woodhead would wing it back home to safety. 16 men. Most of them good friends of mine. One of them was my brother.
Oh, I wish you hadn't told me that. My job is hard enough without having to stifle feelings of sympathy.
I made a special journey back to Rotley to find him. He was drunk when I killed him, and they said he was drunk in the air.
Won't let the police have those photographs now, will you, Mr. Skinner?
I'm afraid I'd have to if it was necessary. There can be no sentiment in business.
Please, Mr. Skinner. Please.
Don't beg, Mary. If the price of his silence is that I should commit another crime, then he can go to hell. The answer's no.
Oh, dear, I always feel that somehow I've failed when I have to expose a client. Perhaps I've not made it clear that your part in the actual robbery would be very, very small. You'd neither be suspected nor found out. Your career at the bank would not suffer. You'll be able to enjoy your new house, your garden, your cars. In fact, all of us would live happily ever after.
The answer is still no.
I can't believe that is your last word.
It is.
Oh, no.
Keep out of it, Mary.
No, I'll not keep out of it. It concerns me as well as you. Well, you may think it's fine and noble to throw away everything we've worked for because of something that happened years and years ago. I don't.
I can't rob my own back, Mary. It's a matter of principle.
Well, it's a pity you didn't think of principles when you knocked down that drunken man.
Mary.
I'm sorry, Peter. I shouldn't have said that. What's going to happen to me when you're nobly rotting in prison?
I doubt if they'll send me to prison.
Well, even if you get off. I don't think I'm going to like being known as the Rookley murderer's wife. They kick you out of the bank. You killed his son, so Vernon wouldn't let you stay.
I'd resign anyway.
And when you made this magnificent gesture, what will we live on?
I'd get another job.
Oh, what as a car mechanic? You'd never get another job like this one. You can just about afford the mortgage on the house now. How can we go on paying it?
We'd have to make sacrifices.
Sacrifices? No, Peter, no. I've had the hard times. If you want to throw everything away, then go ahead. I can't stop you. But you'd throw me away as well. Because I believe you, Peter. I believe you.
Oh, dear, the very last thing I wanted to do was to cause trouble between husband and wife. No, I really feel I've abused your hospitality.
You'd rather leave her?
Yes?
All right, sir. You win.
My dear Mr. Fussell, this is wonderful. You have gladdened my heart. Believe me, you've made the right decision.
Tom, where are you?
Over here, checking the stationery stock, Mr. Perry.
That should have been done yesterday.
Well, I was a bit pushed there.
You'll be pushed right out of the job if you don't back your ideas up. The Exons are sending over for a new pagan book. Let me know when they arrive.
Yes, sir. Anyone think this job was worth having?
Talking to yourself.
Oh, hello, Shell. Here, you look a bit on the seaside. You could do with fattening up.
Are you offering to take me out to dinner?
No, I'm offering to save some luncheon vouchers. Only half price. Please, Shell. Oh, good morning. Oh, Mr. Fussell. I haven't noticed you, I'm sorry.
Good morning, Tom. Here's Mr. Perry in.
Yes, sir. Is he expecting you?
No, he's not expecting me. I'll go straight through.
What are you doing here?
You know what I think, Shell?
What?
I think Captain Queed is about to be relieved of his command.
Come in. You. Good morning, Mr. Perry. Your calendar's wrong. I'm afraid I've got bad news.
Oh?
I've decided to take over the branch as from today.
As manager?
Yes.
I can see you and I are going to get on like a house on fire. Yesterday we agreed January the 1st.
I've had second thoughts.
You always change your mind every 5 minutes because I don't. I said I'm staying as acting manager until January the 1st, and that's precisely what I intend to do. Good day.
It's all been agreed. I've been on to Miss Mason at head office.
We'll see about that. Surely, get me, Mr. Mason, at head office. Yes, hang on, Sergeant. Mr. Mason? Perry here. No, Perry. Newford branch. There seems to be some confusion. Oh? On what grounds? I see. I take this as a vote of no confidence in me, Mr. Mason. I don't see what other way I can take it. I must now consider my next course of action.
I hope you're not thinking of resigning, Miss Perry.
Resigning at my age? You only have to wait a few days, Mr. Fussell, when you would have spared me this humiliation. Just a few days.
I really am most sorry.
I'll move my things out of your office right away. I thought there was the indecent haste you're showing to get in here. Yes. Mr. Skinner to see Mr. Fussell, sir.
Come in, Mr. Skinner.
What a glorious morning. Makes you feel good to be alive, eh, Mr. Berry?
Harry. No, it doesn't.
Is everything all right?
He took it badly.
Oh, don't worry about him. He'll have a whale of a time wallowing in self-pity.
Perhaps you can now tell me why it was necessary.
Of course. But we shall have to hurry now. Have a look at this.
The new payment book. Gregson's department store. Where did you get this?
I hope you're not suggesting that I stole it.
Did you?
Certainly not. I bought it. It's a forgery. A forgery? And a very good one. My printer says that compared with banknotes, it was a piece of cake. But then who'd expect anyone to forge a paying-in book? Now, Gregson's will be sending for a new paying-in book this morning.
The new one?
Oh, yes, they've lost the old one. Someone must have picked it up in the bank yesterday by mistake. I wonder who that could have been. Oh, it will turn up. All you've got to do is to ensure that they are issued with this replacement.
Why?
You've probably noticed there's strings of unintelligible figures printed along the bottom of checks and paying-in books.
Well, that's for computerized accounting. They're specially printed so that an electronic scanner can read them and automatically transfer the account details to the computer.
And what about the name of the firm?
Well, that's only printed for the customer's convenience. The machine ignores it.
Good. Because this paying-in book for Gregson differs from the real thing in one respect only. It has my account number details printed along the bottom, not Gregson.
I see.
I thought you would. It means, of course, that all the money that Gregson pays in this afternoon will be credited to my account by your splendid computer. Something in the region of £60,000. If they've had a good day. I shall be in tomorrow to draw it out in cash.
Cash?
Of course. I'm going to make a quick getaway before the mistake's found out. Bank error in your favor, collect £60,000.
Do you really think the bank is going to pay out all that money in cash without suspicions being aroused?
But of course it is. My dear Mr. Fussell, I've been planning this for ages, ever since I knew that you were coming here. Now take a look at my account record, and you'll see that on 6 occasions I have deposited sums ranging from £10,000 to £30,000, and I've withdrawn them in cash a couple of days later. The money wasn't mine, of course. I borrowed it at extortionate interest rates. But it's all in a good cause. I have established a pattern. There's the work I have put in to make things easy for you.
Give me the photographs and I'll do it.
Oh. Now, would your bank hand back its security before the loan has been repaid? Let normal business ethics apply. When I have the money, you will have the photograph.
And how do I know you'll carry out your end of the bargain?
I give you my word as a gentleman. No? All right, then. When I have the money, I'll slip you the photographs before I leave the bank. And if I don't, you can raise the loan. And if your bank grants me this loan, Mr. Fussell, I'll work my fingers to the bone to justify your faith in me.
Yes? What is it, Tom?
I was looking for Mr. Perry, sir.
Can I help?
The cashier from Gregson's is outside, sir. He's come for the new paying-in.
Oh. It's all right, Tom. No need to find Mr. Perry. I have it here.
Were you looking for me, Tom? Oh, it's all right, Mr. Perry. Gregson's are here for their paying-in book. Hold on, I'll get it for you. I've got it already, sir. Mr. Fussell gave it to me.
We couldn't have done. I locked it in the cabinet. I haven't handed him over the key yet.
He probably thought you'd locked it, sir, but you haven't.
If I think I've done a thing, then I've done it. Wait a minute. Let me take a look at that book.
Anything wrong, Mr. Perry?
Yes, there is. Have I told you about carbon paper? Isn't there any in it, sir? No, there isn't. They're always complaining about it, but put some in before you hand it over.
Yes, sir.
By the way, I didn't give you the key to the cabinet, Mr. Fussell.
Oh, thanks. They gave me a spare at head office, but I'll take yours just in case.
Gregson's now have a fake paying-in book.
Yes. The money they paid him today goes straight into Skinner's account. He's drawing it out tomorrow.
So this time tomorrow it'll be all over.
I suppose so.
When you find out what happened, will they suspect you?
No. If I lie my head off, I'll come out unscathed. I'll say Skinner must have swapped the books in my office.
Oh, that's all right then. Who's that?
That'll be Skinner. I'll let him in.
Good evening.
In the lounge.
Well, I'm back again, Mrs. Fussell, like a return check.
Has he been to do your television, Spencer? No. Oh, they're all the same news people, you know. Unreliable. I couldn't run my business like that. And, talking of business, Mr. Fussell, how much did Gregson pay into my account today?
£69,523. 69,523. I understand that the record is taken.
Good Lord, you know I am not a religious man, but it's at times like this that I begin to realize what Christmas is all about. Nearly 70,000. And it will go higher. You mark my word.
You could draw it out tomorrow, but bring the photographs.
No.
What?
There are 3 more shopping days for Christmas, and Gregson's are having a boom. I think I'll let my money accumulate. If I wait until Christmas Eve, I should collect about what? £250,000.
You can't wait. It's too risky.
Nonsense. These last few days before Christmas are absolutely chaotic. Gregson won't have a chance to check the statement.
That isn't what we agreed. You said your price was $60.
Oh, I know it does sound as if I'm guilty of gazumping, doesn't it? But I said I was looking for at least £60,000. I didn't set a maximum, did I? Oh, come now, it's only another 3 days. You'll be surprised how quickly time passes when you're enjoying yourself. So I'll be in on Christmas Eve, bright and early, with a smile, a suitcase, and a check drawn for cash.
And the photograph.
I'll tie a knot in my handkerchief. Well, now, you must excuse me. There's so much to do. Freight transport to pick up, plane tickets to collect, eggs to hard boil for the sandwiches. No. Do sit down, Mrs. Fussell. I'll show myself out.
Here's your calendar, boys. The 24th today.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Perry.
How often do you want telling? And I'm still waiting for that list of overdrafts to head office.
Well, I thought I'd do that after Christmas, sir.
Then you can think again. It's going off tonight. Even if you have to work overtime.
Actually, Ebenezer Scrooge. Fine Christmas Eve this is going to be. You wouldn't like to stay behind tonight and help me, would you, Cheryl?
No, I wouldn't. You've had your Christmas present.
Yes, lovely tie. I'll get you something first payday after Christmas.
Oh, yes, like you did last year. I'm still waiting. Well, how'd you get all the home with your work then?
I've been down in the vault getting that money ready for Mr. Skinner.
What money?
£217,000 in hard cash. He's picking it up today. All that money. You're not the only temptation in this place, sir.
Oh, yes.
Tom, Mr. Skinner, this is cash ready?
All ready, sir.
Good. He'll be here to pick it up as soon as we open. You can take him to my office. I'll be out for a few minutes.
All right, Mr. Fussell.
Mr. Perry, I'm popping out for a while. We'll try and manage. Shirley, hop outside, open the door.
Yes, Mr. Perry.
Let the ravenous hordes in.
That'll do. What was that money you were talking about?
£217,000 for Skinner Investments, sir. He's picking it up today.
He hasn't got that sort of money.
Oh, he has, sir. I'll check.
I know you're checking. Show me the account sheet. Three large deposits. He never came by this honestly.
Perhaps he robbed a bank, sir.
Don't be funny. Oh, there he is.
Good morning, Mr. Cherry. Merry Christmas.
The name is Perry, Mr. Skinner.
Mr. Fussell said we can use his office, Mr. Skinner. He's popped out for a while.
Oh, lovely. Lead the way.
Excuse me. Yes?
I'd like to see the manager, please.
He's had to go out for a few minutes. Can I help you?
Well, my name's Robson. I'm chief accountant over at Gregson's department store.
I thought I recognized you, Mr. Robson. I'm the acting assistant manager.
Yes, now look here, Perry. Your damn computer's up to its tricks again. We've just received our statement. We're nearly £220,000 light.
There it is, Mr. Skinner. £217,000. You give me the cases and I'll stack it in for you.
I'll give you a hand, shall I, Tom? I'm in rather a hurry.
Get on to our head office, Mr. Robson.
Right.
It looks as if our computer has completely missed your last 3 payments. Shirley, head office, please.
We never had this trouble in the old days.
In the old days, Mr. Robson, the customer was a customer, not just a number in the computer. Oh, hello, central account. Terry here. No, Terry. Newford branch. Look, the computer has messed up one of our accounts. No, we can't wait until after Christmas. It's not just a few pence, it's only £220,000. This is more important than the office party. Get Mr. Fox to the phone at once.
Will it all go in, Tom?
Oh, I think so, sir. If I...
There we are, that's better. Look, if you could hurry us along. I'm sorry, Mr. Fox. It may be Christmas Eve up in that office, but it's an ordinary working day down here. The account is Greggson's department store. The computer number? How should I know? Just a minute. Can I borrow your pen? The computer number is 198-7543-2/110. No, I haven't made a mistake. I'm reading it straight from the book.
There, sir. Thank you, Tom.
Oh, by the way, as it's Christmas.
Oh, I couldn't,
I won't tell anyone.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Skinner.
There you are, Mr. Farthorpe. I was afraid I'd have to leave without saying goodbye.
No fear of that. Run along and open up the boot of Mr. Skinner's car, would you, Tom? The yellow sports model in the side road.
Yes, it is unlocked. Would you like to take this case, Tom? I'll manage the other.
Right, sir.
Oh, now, there is my part of the bargain. All the evidence I got is in that package. There is nothing else, I promise you.
Thank you.
How do you know my car was in the side road?
I noticed it when I was out.
I see. Look, in case you've got any ideas of giving me alarm before I'm well away, remember I can still tell the police about that package. Not that any such unworthy thoughts would have entered your head, of course. Well, goodbye, Mr. Hartle. Thanks for everything. I don't know how I would have managed it without your help.
Tell me one thing before you go.
What?
Who gave you details of my private account? It must have been someone in the bank.
You wouldn't thank me for telling you. I promise you. Well, goodbye, and a Merry Christmas.
Forgive me for not shaking hands. Mine are not very clean, I'm afraid. What's going on?
That money wasn't his. It was Gregson. He should have had hanging book somehow.
For the police?
That was the first thing I did. Give me some credit. Any luck, Tom?
No, sir. It's all going off his sports car.
You've been at head office, though, Miss Ferry, and I won't see the police as soon as they arrive. I must get rid of these photographs. Now, what's this? Like a piece of the card. And the letter. Dear Mr. Fossil, how can you forgive me? It was all a blot. There are no photographs. I was never at Brooklyn in my life. With apologies for any inconvenience. Never at Brooklyn. And how on earth did you know? Mary was the only one I ever told. Shirley, get my wife on the phone, would you?
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. Come in.
This is Detective Sergeant Betty.
Come in, Sergeant. Sit down. This is a wretched business.
Could be worse. I've got the money.
What?
I just came over the radio, sir. His car went out of control. He had a smash up at the bottom of Birch's Hill.
Oh, no. That's a terrible accident.
Well, we don't think it was an accident, sir. There's more than a suspicion of foul play. One of our chaps seems to think the car's been sabotaged.
You mean someone deliberately interfered with the brakes?
That's foolish you'd mention the brakes.
Oh, I assumed.
Yes, well, it was the brakes, by all accounts. I'm on the way to look at the car now.
Who'd do a thing like that?
Oh, he wasn't short of enemies, sir. With a final Raffic on him back at the station.
I suppose he's dead.
Very much so, sir. They were both killed outright.
Both?
There was a woman with him, sir. She hasn't been identified yet.
A woman?
Oh, he was a great one for the lady, sir. Could twist him round his little finger.
Excuse me.
Yes?
There's no reply from your wife, sir. Shall I try later?
No. No, thank you, Shirley. There's no point. She won't be there anymore.
Well, sir, I must be off.
Hold on, Sergeant. I think I'd better come with you. I may be able to help with the identification.
In Balance Brought Forward by R.D. Wingfield, Fussell was played by Peter Williams and Skinner by Aubrey Wood. Mr. Perry, Rolf Lefevre, Mary Fussell, Gudrun Ure, Tom Green, David Timpson, Shirley, Karen Archer, Robson, Fraser Carr, and Detective Sergeant Betty, Manning Wilson. The play was produced by Harry Kaplan.
Midwig Theatre. Slow Fuse by R.D. Wingfield.
What's that noise? Well, that's the audible part of one of the alarm systems which operate if anyone approaches the vault. All right, Joe. Open it up.
Right you are, sir.
After you, Major.
Thank you.
Ah, this is where we keep our stock of raw materials. Gold, silver, and platinum. And no need to tell you not to touch, of course. This is silver. It's silly to me. Not to the expert eye, I assure you. Please put it down. Oh, just feeling the weight. What would I have to pay for one of these? Something in the region of £13. The gold is considerably dearer, of course.
So, how much have you got in here?
We hold an insurance cover of £750,000 for the contents of this vault.
My mouth's watering. Do you ever forget to lock the door?
My dear Major Derry, I wouldn't be allowed to forget. Until that door is closed and locked firmly, lights and buzzers are flashing all over the place.
Oh, very different to the last time I was here.
The last time you... Well, you haven't been here before.
Before your time, Mr. Robson. But I've actually been in this vault. Mind you, I'm going back nearly 30 years now, before your firm moved in.
This would be during the war?
Yes. The Army commandeered most of the buildings on this estate. They stuck me in here. I was on bomb disposal.
How interesting.
Yes. Yes, I had my office out in the corridor, and my bed in this vault. Safest place to be during the air raids.
Well, if you're successful in obtaining this position, Major Derry, we'd very much like to have your story for our house magazine.
You've had many other applicants, sir?
A few.
Not up to my standard, though, eh? All right, here's a story for your magazine. I remember one night rolling in here stinking drunk.
Drunk? Do you drink, then?
Oh, not as much as I did.
We'd like to think the man we appoint will be of temperate habits.
The salary you're paying, you'd have to be. What's that?
Well, the builders. You probably noticed them when you came in. They're digging the foundations for a new extension and strengthening that far wall at the same time.
It looks strong enough to me.
Yes. Well, now, we really must move on. Close it up now, Smith, and telephone control to send this down for us.
Very well, sir.
This way, Major. The only way up is by means of the lift, and they won't send it down until they've cleared us.
And how do they do that?
Well, we've been under observation by closed-circuit television from the moment we left the vault.
Oh, you should have told me earlier. I've been having a scratch.
If they see anything the least bit suspicious, they can contact the police and have the entire building cordoned off in seconds. It seems we've passed muster.
They saw you were with me.
Up to you.
Tell me, Mr. Robson, if it's all so foolproof, why do you want a security officer?
Well, there's more to this place than just the bullion store, you know. Mm-hmm. Well, as you say, the vault is foolproof. Thief-proof, in fact. It's protected by 7 different types of alarm systems throughout the building. The vault opening mechanism is computer-operated.
And how does that work?
Well, unless I and 2 other members of the staff feed in the correct code numbers for the day, the vault remains tightly closed. None of us knows the other codes. After you, at weekends and holidays, we operate a time lock which overrides the computer. Yes, all in all, we don't have many sleepless nights worrying about the vault.
What do you worry about then?
Well, the rest of the factory, the workbenches. We make articles of all types in precious metal. Gold and silverware, commemorative medals, presentation cups, and so on. Well, this means
we have to remove our precious metals from the safety of our vault to the factory floor, and that's where we're vulnerable. Thousands of pounds worth of material circulating every day.
How do you make sure they don't take their work home with them?
Mr. Robson. All right, Bradford, I can hear it. This may answer your question, Major. Do you mind turning out your pocket, please?
Eh?
You're being screened by apparatus which reacts to the presence of gold, silver, or platinum. It's reacting to you.
I've got a gold filling in my tooth.
Reacting to a little more than that, I think. Please, Major.
All right. Here we are. Just wanted to see if I could beat your security system. You've convinced me I can't.
Did tell you not to touch, Major.
Ah, but no point in telling the criminal that, Mr. Robson. Similar to the old mine detector, I suppose.
I believe so. Have this returned to the vault, would you, Bradford? And turn that thing off.
Yes, sir.
Well, you've seen everything, Major. How do you feel about the job?
I feel it's right up my street. Should be a cushy little number.
Don't think that's quite the way we envisaged the post.
No. Of course not, no. Bad choice of words. You push the salary up a bit higher, and you won't find me quibbling too much. Where would my office be?
Not so far. The security officer's office would be in the extension building when it's finished.
When will that be? They're only on the foundation.
Well, by the end of the month.
Oh, that suits me fine. I don't retire from the army until then. Well, it gives us both plenty of time to turn it over in our minds.
If you're suited in the meantime, you let us know.
Don't you worry, Mr. Robson. I won't accept anything else.
I wouldn't be too hasty if I were you. The bird in the hand, you know.
I'm going to enjoy working here. Your advertisement said something about interview traveling expenses.
But the army barracks are only the other side of the town. And you came in a jeep.
Yes. Yes, well, I won't press that then.
Know the way out, don't you? Straight down the corridor and left at the end. I'll phone the guard, let him know you're coming.
I've been most impressed, Mr. Robson. We'll meet again. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I think not.
Oh, that's Major Derry.
What do you think of him? A good deal older than I would have wished to have seen, sir. He's my age.
Quite, sir. I mean, good heavens, he looks 10 years older.
Hardly in the peak of physical condition. He's at least 2 stone overweight and a drinker. Yes, I don't think we need bother with him off the short.
Sorry to keep you, Sergeant.
How did the interview go, sir?
Oh, not bad. For one horrible moment, I thought they were going to offer me the job. But my natural charm put them off in the end.
Did you manage to have a good nose around?
They took me all over the place.
Yes, sir.
No, we'll get a break into that vault from the inside, Sergeant. Impossible. They'd have us before we were within 100 yards.
More or less as we suspected, sir, wasn't it?
He took me inside the vault, Sergeant. I saw it. Bars and bars of the stuff. Gold, silver, platinum.
We don't want you to be disappointed, sir. There must be some way of getting it out.
I wish I could think of one. They've got it buttoned up so tight. 7 different alarm systems, computer control, closed-circuit television. It'd take an army to bust into a place like that.
But don't forget, Major, until you leave us at the end of the month, an army is just what you've got. Look out! Damn civilians.
Private Fraser. Oh, good morning, sir. Private Fraser. Not only are you smoking on duty, which is itself a crime, you haven't offered me one, which is unforgivable. Sorry, sir. Help yourself. Thank you.
Actually, sir, I was just trying to find you. The Colonel wants you.
Oh, what about?
He didn't say that. We're not supposed to listen in on the switchboard, sir.
I didn't wangle you this job for you to start getting ethical, old son.
Well, from what I gathered, sir, a couple of chaps from Payco have been done a snap audit. You're 70 quid light in your float.
Now, that's not playing the game, is it? Well, you're bound to find money short with a snap audit. If my OCO was going to have money, let us know a week beforehand. Do you think we were ever a penny short? Oh, this new chap's got no idea.
No, sir.
Yeah, well, I'll tell him you agree with me. Oh, damn. Now I've got to rush around and put it back. I I suppose you wouldn't have 70 quid saved up for a kindly action, would you, old son?
No, afraid not.
You young chaps, you earn good money and you spend it. You should be saving up for my retirement present anyway. No, let's hope Sergeant Stinger's going to oblige me.
I happened to overhear something else in the switchboard, sir.
Well, come on, old son.
The colonel's got a chap from the military police with him.
The military police? Oh, not for a lousy 70 quid, surely. Well, what's it all about?
Well, that's all I heard, sir.
Oh, what you did here. Many thanks, old son. Better go across and see what it's all about.
Get a move on with those requisitions, Jackson. They must go off tonight.
Right, sir.
Good morning, Major.
What, Jackson? The headmaster sent for me.
Yes. Take a seat, would you? He's got someone with him at the moment.
Has he? Anyone I know?
No, you'll have to excuse me, Major. I've got a lot to do. You've left the address off this one, Jackson.
Oh, sorry, sir. If I had a cigarette, I'd offer you one, Captain.
Really, Major, they can be bought, you know.
That's handy to know, should I ever run out. So, got a light?
Yeah.
Oh, how much did you pay for your lighter?
£5.10.
I can get you one identical, twice the quality, 30 bob.
This is one of yours.
Yes. Yes, now I look at it closely. Yeah, I can see it's one of the expensive ones. Oh, you've got a bargain there. What does this nib want to see me about?
But I shall tell you when you go in.
Oh, come on, old son. You can tell me.
You know I can't. I respect the Colonel's confidence.
£70 missing from my throat. Well, thanks for telling me, Captain.
You know I said no such thing. If the Colonel heard you say that... Moi? Yes, he's here. Right. Would you go in now, Major?
Sit down, Gary, sit down. You know Major Parsonson of the military police, I believe? Yes, indeed, sir. Well, old friend. Caught the whiskey bandits yet, Major?
We will, Major. We will.
Any idea why you're here, Gary? Yes, sir. But if I could help in any way. Everything all right in the section? Oh, that's clockwork, sir. Through your cash accounts, always balanced? Funny you should say that, son. I was just on my way over to the office when I got your message. Oh, yeah, that's stupid mistake I made. I was working on some papers last night, and I found a bundle of pound notes mixed up with them. Obviously, they were from my throat. I must have scooped them up with the papers into my briefcase. It's a good job I found them. I'll stick it back when I leave you. I see. What was it you wanted to see me about, then? Well, it doesn't matter now.
On your way to put it back, you say, Major.
That's right.
Good. I'll take it for you. I'm seeing the auditors at lunchtime.
Auditors? Oh, didn't I mention them? No, sir. Here you are, Major.
Thank you. I'll just check it through in case you've given me too much.
Wait a minute. What's this? Another £3. Must have got caught up in my jacket lining. I did it, mister.
No, thank you. Yes, it seems all to be that. Disappointed? Of course not.
Good. So I'll get back to my office, sir.
Well, sit down there. There's something else. Perhaps you'd like to take over, Major Parsonson? Certainly, Colonel. Major Derry, you're in charge of the stores at this camp,
Yes, right, Major. But if you want anything, you'll have to sign for it. I can't let you have anything on the side.
You check your stocks regularly, actually. Any shortages?
No.
That's very good.
Thank you.
A considerable quantity of Army stores has been turning up at street markets in the Midlands and the East End of London. As far as we can estimate, something in the region of £3,000 worth is involved.
That's a lot of stores.
More than you could accidentally stuff in your briefcase. Well, we've known about this for some time. We've not been able to track down the source of supply.
One tin of beans was very much like another.
It did, Major, but not anymore. Our manufacturers and suppliers have been most cooperative. They've been marking up different batches of goods with code numbers, and we've been keeping careful records. Yes, we can now tell that the goods involved were originally supplied to 4 separate depots, and this is one of them. All we've got to do now is to find out which one.
You can see my stock sheets any time you like. They balance to the last tin of sardines.
Oh, we're not interested in stock sheets. We're interested in actual stock. We find the two don't always agree.
Right. To To set your mind at ease, I'll check all my stocks this afternoon.
Oh, we wouldn't dream of putting you to all that trouble. We'll do it for you. I've got a team of trained men doing the rounds. They'll be here first thing Monday morning.
I want you to give Major Parsons every assistance, Jerry.
I'm sure the Major needs no reassurance on that point, huh?
Evening, Major. Usual?
Yes, please, Grace. Landlord about?
He's been asking for you. Mr. Dale?
What is it? Oh, Major Derry.
Down.
Quiet word.
Sure.
That whiskey you got me wasn't knocked off, was it?
Oh, yes. What?
Only we've had one of your chaps in here, military policeman. Said they were looking for some stuff knocked off from the army catering section.
Coincidence. Who was this chap?
There he is, in the other bar.
Oh, yes, I know him.
Friend of yours?
Hardly.
Yeah. Said they pinched bottles of sherry as well.
Interested in sherry?
Could be, if the price was right.
We'll talk about it afterwards. He's coming over. Evening, Major Parsons.
Jerry?
What's this cheap whiskey you're trying to plug in?
Your tongue will get you into trouble one of these days.
He's gone off in a hurry, Major.
He'd have stayed if he'd seen you, Grace.
Now what's coming?
What are you doing when you finish tonight?
Going straight to bed.
Oh.
I've been on my feet non-stop since 9 this morning. I want some rest.
I've had a rotten day as well, Grace. That's why I was hoping for a little bit of kindness and understanding tonight.
On the cheap as usual, I suppose.
Just a little chat.
I know your little chaps. They finish up with me cooking your breakfast.
I'm mad about your bacon, Grace.
Yeah, I know.
Service down this end, Grace.
Coming.
Ah, there you are, Major.
Over here, Sergeant. I got it, sir.
Guess who I bumped into outside?
Yes, he's really breathing down our necks today. He's been warning the landlord against buying cheap whiskey. But it would kill all our trade. How did you get on?
I've done a quick stock check. We're in trouble.
Yes, well, we have been going a bit mad recently.
I'll say we have, sir. There's hardly anything left.
You reckon £3,000 worth of job?
I'll make it more.
So that's it then. The balloon goes up on Monday.
Looks like it, sir.
You better be out of here by Sunday night then. Pity. I was hoping for one really big job before I left. Grace?
Yeah?
Same again for me and a bidder for the sergeant.
Right. Good evening, Sergeant.
Hello, Grace.
I was up at our old stamping ground today, Grace.
Yeah? Here you are, Sergeant. Take the Major's as well.
Thank you. Yes, Grace, I applied for a position as security officer of Consolidated Silversmiths.
They never give you a job.
Why not? Prisoners if they know me. I told my old sleeping quarters. It's packed solid with gold bars now.
Did you know Grace during the war then, sir?
Not as well as I'd have liked. She was a buxom land girl then. Her marrows were the envy of the barracks. Right, Grace?
Right. Now, what about paying for those drinks?
Oh, that's not like me. Keep the change.
Tuppence short.
Eh?
Another cup.
Sergeant?
Yes, sir. Here you are, Grace.
Thank you.
It hasn't really changed much, you know. Still as solid as ever. The tape up at any moment. They put me off reading serials. And it wasn't all excitement, though. The hardest job at times was finding that damn thing. There's still a lot of unexploded bombs knocking about. We never found them all.
You weren't always looking in the right places.
Yes, go on, Grace. You're lowering the tone of the conversation.
I don't see how a bomb could be hard to find. Some of them weighed a ton.
But if they penetrated the ground and didn't explode, Sergeant, they wouldn't leave a crater. The point of entry could be very small, and in soft earth there'd be no trace. Even if you found the point of entry, it would still be a long way from finding the bomb. They'd skid and snake about underground and finish up nowhere near where they went in.
I never knew that.
One night I was in my little old army-ish bed in the bullion store, wishing I had Grace with me. When I heard this one come down, I thought it was my luck. Straight for me. Then there was a tremendous crash. No explosion, just a crash. The whole building shook. Spent a week digging and prodding, but we never found it. Probably still there to this day.
This happened outside the bullion store, you said, sir?
That's right. Why?
Is there any way we could break into that vault from the outside?
The walls are 4 foot thick. You couldn't break your way... Yes, sir? That far wall. Now, why are they having it strengthened? Of course. That far wall's a wartime utility job. They had to finish it off in a rush. It's still damn strong, but nowhere as thick as the others. Shall we get through it? With explosives? What's the point? It's below ground. You'd have to tunnel down to it, blast your way in, beat the alarms, and then slip through the police cordon. I reckon we could do it.
Good morning, Mr. Robson. You sent for me.
Oh, yes, Bradford. Come in and shut the door. Now, did you agree with head office that we would accept the next bullion delivery intended for Hammersmith? Yes, sir. The vault at Hammersmith has been giving some trouble. Well, then that's their problem. We can't take it. Oh, plenty of room, sir. It's not a question of room. We've only got insurance cover for £750,000, and we're pushing our limit now. Any more would put us right over the top. You can tell head office that... what's going on out there?
Mr. Robson, I must be Mr.
Major Jerry. Sorry to barge in on you like this, sir. I'm afraid there's no time for niceties. We're evacuating the building.